Hey, hey. What's up? Hello, everyone. We will be live in a second.
Hello, Schmoeville. We are back again today. Nice to see everybody. Nice to be back here on SEN Live. Thank you for the good people. Thank you for those who are understanding and not dicks. It is nice to be back. Ladies and gentlemen, first, I'll say it again. The man who I apparently have good chemistry with, Winston Marshall, is here.
We out here like catalyst, baby. That was better.
That was better. See, now you've had your LaCroix.
I've had my LaCroix. I'm a little peppy.
It's better.
Saw a puppy video.
It's much better now. Yeah. It's good to have you back. Ben Goddard is here. Hello, Ben.
Hello, hello.
Nice to have you. David Michael Frank doing the magic.
What's going on?
Good to have you. And for a second time, but now the first. Ladies and gentlemen, she's back in Schmoeville. Sinead Devries. Sinead, I'm so curious. When was the last time you saw Ashley Mova?
It's funny. No, I honestly, I don't know how you do this. This seems so daunting to me. I feel like I would have an absolute anxiety attack
every day.
Every single day.
Yeah.
But this is all part and parcel of it, and I think that you just gotta hammer it all out now.
It's getting better. My stress levels are definitely going up. Up. No, up.
Good.
But
bro,
good. Well, do it on air though. If you have cardiac arrest, do it on air.
But see, that's what I was gonna say. I'm waiting for your Bill O'Reilly. Fucking, we'll do it live.
Oh, yeah, I've had one of those before. Trust me. Theme park.
That was like either my first or second day in Collider Live, and I was like, oh,
it was the first.
It was the first. I was like, you just gonna pull this episode. All right, cool, awesome.
It was all because of you.
No, thanks.
It's all you.
Exactly.
We are back here, and this is why I tell people when they're like, when it comes to both Streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown and Superchat, we are not run by a corporation nor do we have sponsors or investors or that. We are just run off you guys. Now, we did get I saw a bunch of, shithead comments, and I would probably be one of those shitheads too. Just like, oh, looked like the computer didn't work. Looked like the new computer didn't work.
Why didn't you test the sound before the stream?
Looked like the computer didn't work. There are hiccups that happen, especially when you're running things independently. We were a week into this thing, and we are pushing. We're doing everything that we can. My favorite, though, what I want to do is I'd like to take, there are some amazing, wonderful humans in here that have been with us since day one, but I want to take those people that are just like, someone's like, this is a disaster. I want to take that person. I'm going to say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to let you run your own network.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Go ahead and do it. And if you can figure everything out in the first week, I'll pay for the whole damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The whole damn thing.
People
so
are
you got to do it on your own first.
People are spoiled.
Spoiled.
They just don't understand what it takes to do anything.
No,
and they
it's
can't.
true.
It's how can you compare, a TV show or a digital show run by a multi-million-dollar company,
Right?
To you know what I'm saying?
Independently run. I mean,
independently run shows.
I love doing it the way that we're doing here. I've said this, and I think that when it comes to once we're moving, like yesterday we had a couple hiccups and then it just moved. Since when the show's running, I haven't felt this comfortable and relaxed on the air since the early Schmoes days, Toad Hop style, because it's just it's this. It's just, someone's like, where'd you find Ben Goddard? It's like, he was a fan who became, he was part of the Schmoedown. He was like, hey, do you want to read the news? And now, he's a new character on the show. And it's that's old school shit. Winston and I were just buddies and it's, hey, do you want to be on the show? He's like, yeah. And now it's you just find that vibe. It's that Adam Sandler mode of keep people around you that you like being around. Mm-hmm. If you were available more, I'd have you on the show every day also. I mean, it's just, you've been doing a lot. You work, so we were getting into what you've been doing before we had a couple hiccups. Can you tell us again what's been going on?
Well, I work over at Clever. That takes up a lot of my time. And then that's just like all kind of like fun personality stuff. Yesterday we were at Disney again. So we do a lot of like, since they got bought, by Hearst, we've been able to do a lot more just like random, really fun, like out and about type of shoots. Traveling, yeah. So we went to New York a couple months ago.
Awesome.
We got to do some really cool stuff over there with like Delish. We filmed we ate we eat a lot of stuff all the time. It's usually what we're doing is eating, and it's like the best. Like yesterday we did all of like the holiday foods at Disney, like every single
Okay, I got a
one.
question. Do they have macaroni and cheese over there?
At Disney?
Yeah.
They have they have chili mac and cheese at
Okay,
Disney.
chili. That seems reasonable. Now let me ask you a question. What would you say to something like tuna macaroni and cheese?
No, I would say hell no.
Thank you. Thank you. Listen, thank you.
It's gonna happen.
I'm gonna bring this up
You're gonna do
every
it. Doesn't matter.
day.
Honestly, like if you made
you
me
eat it.
tuna mac and cheese, right?
You'd eat it.
I would try it.
Right.
I don't know if
Thank
I would
you.
love
Well,
it, but I would try
Don't
it.
say I would try. You have to do it because you lost the bet, motherfucker. That's
Well,
what
I
you're gonna
said
do.
I told you I would do it. I would try it already. So you feels like you wasted, but you could have $5. You know what you could have done with
We
that?
won't even do this on air. It's worth the $5.
Fine.
Yeah, but
Wait, what's the beef? What's wrong with tuna?
and,
Tuna
no,
is
and mac
fine.
and cheese. He doesn't like
Macaroni
tuna
and
mac
I
and
cheese
think
is
cheese.
glorious.
I think tuna and mac
Together?
and cheese is some white people shit. I'm
Thank-
not
that's
gonna
what he
lie.
said. That's what he
Oh
said on
my
the
God!
top.
You
But-
want somebody finally understands?
Now, as much as this conversation, I want to dive into it. Can we talk about two different things here?
Sure.
You want to talk about movies all day long. You're not going to hear a peep out of David Michael Frank. He comes in and he's like, "What's wrong with tuna?"
Absolutely. I don't know how you guys have a problem with tuna and cheese and mac and cheese.
That's right. Thank you.
It's
That's really
delicious.
funny.
And that's not and
Separate.
right. And that goes.
No.
I can't believe I'm gonna say this, separate but equal. You know what I'm saying? On your plate, but
But
not
you-
together, man. That's
you ever
nasty.
had like a tuna
No,
melt?
no, wait.
Yes,
Yeah, tuna melt.
That's completely different.
No,
But
wait,
how
no.
is it? But a tuna
'Cause
melt
of the
is so
noodles?
close.
Well, first of all, you already told me you be making Kraft macaroni and cheese.
No,
so-
not crap. No one said crap.
You
I
said
don't
a
put
box.
crap.
You said a box.
That's not crap.
I like Kraft
It's
macaroni and
organic.
cheese, but if you put tuna in
Yeah,
it,
it's not
I would
crap.
definitely
Yeah,
not
that's
eat that.
disgusting.
I mean, look, I'll
Not
eat
it.
Kraft macaroni and cheese if I'm stoned and there's nothing else in the house. But
This is what I need to learn about you. Even though,
Yeah.
we get along pretty well,
Yeah.
we have good chemistry on
Yeah.
air. I don't know the type of person you are yet, because this is the thing that
Yeah.
are you one of those people? Because I know a lot of people like
Sure.
this. That because you're so determined that you think it's going to suck, that if it's actually really
no,
good,
no,
you
no,
would
no,
say this
no.
is good.
I'll admit it. I will.
You
I
would.
will openly admit it. You have
right.
to understand. I will probably get ostracized by most of my family if I do admit that it's good, but I'll do it.
Yeah,
like
you
because
can't
I'm
be-
a man of my word.
All right, you got to. Yeah, you got. I know you're going to do it. I know you're going to eat it, but if you're going to like it.
I told you.
You're gonna like
I told you the tuna casserole I brought you last week. Like when I tried it fresh out of the oven, I was like, it's all right. It's all right.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's
So
all right.
you know what I'm saying?
What's
Like,
wrong with tuna? That's another shirt.
Really not.
And,
Yeah.
and
On a
not
roll.
only
On a roll.
not only that. So David Michael Frank today. This is another great comment today. So Ben Goddard, right before Sinead gets here, goes, I got to use the restroom before before the show starts. Oh yeah, go ahead. So he goes in and he's walking out, and David goes, Kristian, I've never used your bathroom yet. And so from the outside, you hear Ben go, weird flex, but okay,
No, it is a weird flex, and I'm sort of proud of it. I've been here a lot, and it's a weird thing. to be
Yeah,
proud
until
of.
next week he takes a shit in the corner.
Yeah, he didn't say he hasn't gone anywhere.
That's right.
He just
said
haven't
you're
used the bathroom
Right.
yet.
Now
I
the
just-
back of your shed, you could do a swimming pool.
sound like one of those people that's like, I haven't seen a Star Wars before.
Anyway, what else, Sinead? Like you've been so traveling and doing all that, but what else has been going on in your life? You've been able to relax at all?
I mean, I have a child,
Yeah. So no,
who's-
I know that. I know how it
who's
goes.
3.5. He's gonna be 4 in January.
Damn.
Yeah, when the fuck did we get so old?
I
Like,
know.
what is happening
It's
to my
nuts.
life?
I was just saying when you said 3.5, I was like, wow, because I've known you at least 5 now, right? When did you start on
Yeah.
AMC?
2014.
Yeah. Shit,
Yeah.
man, that's nuts.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No, we would over 5 years by now. I think I started like in beginning of fall of
Okay, so almost
2014.
6.
Yeah,
Holy
that's,
shit.
that's insane.
That's pretty crazy.
But yeah, no, he'll be 4 in January. He was an angel child up until
Oh yeah.
maybe 10 minutes ago. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Like this year has been such a new chapter.
Yeah. You go to sleep, put in the bed. good night, mommy. You wakes up, hello, mommy.
Yeah, exactly. And like,
Right, Bird.
100%.
Get that mac and cheese on her.
It's like crazy to me. Like I even skipped work like 2 weeks ago because out of sheer depression that my child was being so mean to me.
Yeah, oh, wow.
And I was like, he's being so mean to me. He probably wants my attention.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to make myself feel better. Like that's why he misses me.
If it makes you feel any better, my little sister was like started her terrible twos and then didn't leave them like ever until about right around when she graduated college, 23, and now she's super successful. So your baby will be fine.
Yeah, no, he was great, and it just like 3 it's been a struggle, but you know it's fine. I'm still so grateful. Like I had a boy, like that's all I wanted was a boy, because I know that like we actually like have a lot of things in common, which is crazy because he's 3, but like we have a lot of things in common and like we can bond over things. And like lately he has become obsessed with, I mean, he's always been obsessed with Disney, but it was always like Mickey Mouse. And, but he found like Toy Story and like hasn't looked back. And it's been so great.
That's cool. That's a
It's
good one.
been
Yeah,
so great.
it's fun to rediscover movies with kids. I mean, it absolutely is. That's one of the main things. But are you done? More? Not right now?
Oh my God. I don't know. Like it's one of those things when I look at Harrison, sometimes I seriously consider like, whose child are you?
Right.
Like you're not mine. And I love him, but like sometimes I'm just like I can't handle this shit. So I think once I get out of that, it would be a lot easier. But he is getting to an age now where it's backfiring on me too, because he's becoming so like grown up in a way. I understand why people have second kids, because like you look at that child and you're like, oh my God, you were so sweet when you were like,
I want another one.
yeah, and you couldn't move, you know.
I liked you when you couldn't do anything.
I liked you when you couldn't move. No, I'm just kidding. But I do understand it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but I'm excited for him to like, you know, be 5 and 6 and for him to like start sports and for us to do things like that, because it'll be like an even brand new chapter, you know.
Ooh, are you gonna let him play football if he wants to?
Yeah, I mean, like he has like crazy like history of like foot issues, and like he had a second surgery this year, and it seems like we might be out of the like dangerous, because for a while they were really worried. They're like, sports might just make it worse if we're honest.
Oh wow.
But because he has a really tight Achilles tendon, and I was just so nervous about it. But yeah, I mean, my dream for him is to play like ice hockey or something.
Okay.
Because I'm like a diehard Blackhawks fan
That's
for life. But I would love for him to play soccer because I played for 10 years. And
you can show him some
That's where
stuff.
the money is anyway.
Yeah, and I would love for him to play football. I would love for, I mean, honestly, the only sport
he loves,
the only sport I don't really want him to play that much is like baseball, just because like this.
That's also where the money is.
I know, and
Why
you
not
could play
baseball?
until you're like 105, and I get that, but like, it doesn't like pull me in as much.
I get that. So
I'm
you,
a big baseball fan.
So you kind of want a sport that you can go and be like, all right, baby, let's go. Oh, I see your ass. Come on.
Yeah, like I want to. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to. I think I'm just biased. I want to be able to like coach or referee.
That's your second shirt today, by the way. I see your ass.
I see your ass. With the clap. Yeah.
Let's see how many shirts. We did like 6 yesterday. See how many we can do today. Yeah. All right, so we are here. Winston Marshall, Ben Goddard, Zoe Kravitz, and David Michael Frank. When she got cast in Batman, did you get like 1,000 tweets?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah. It's between her and like the new one is like Meghan Markle.
Oh,
that one.
I can sort of see that.
I was gonna say Zazie Beetz.
Yeah, so I want people.
I've gotten all of them.
Yeah, and people always talk about this. By the way, too, you know, whether it's he brought up Joe Silver, he brought up this. Well, this is the new one. You know that I knew Meghan Markle. So cause she was my friend's ex-wife.
Yes.
I've
vaguely heard this.
Yeah, but I see Zoe Kravitz way more than I see Meghan Markle.
Yeah, and there are some people who are like, I don't understand how you look anything like Zoe Kravitz. And it's like between Zoe Kravitz and Meghan Markle and Demi Lovato, I used to get.
I get that.
Too.
I can
see that.
Yeah.
It's all, if you look at all of their faces,
right?
It's all their cheeks. Like it's just the shape of their face. Meghan Markle and Zoe Kravitz also have the exact same facial, like their cheekbones are high and they have really big cheeks. Same with Demi Lovato. And you know who I used to get all the time too, which never made any sense to me, was Natalie Portman.
Really?
Yes. And I was like, what the F? But I started looking at pictures of her face because I was like, I'm going to figure this out. And she has the same exact cheeks as Zoe Kravitz.
Okay.
It has nothing
So
else
maybe
to do
it's
with,
cheeks?
it's not eyes, it's not nose or anything. It's cheeks, and it's like the face, like right here.
Can we do a poll on Twitter to say who does Sinead look like the most? And we'll do.
I can get that out right now.
All right, let's do that. So go to the @the Twitter, guys, and we're gonna do. Who does Sinead Devries look like the most? Is it Natalie Portman, Zoe Kravitz, Meghan Markle, or Demi Lovato?
Demi Lovato.
Let's do those.
Zoe Kravitz.
Zoe Kravitz. I'm gonna guess that it's gonna be Zoe Kravitz.
I would argue Zoe Kravitz because like for
Who do
half
you
a
guys think
second,
in the right now in the live chat? Before you vote, just put the first name of who you think it looks like. People are saying Zoe.
I'm getting a lot of Zoe.
All right,
Yeah.
Zoe Kravitz, Meghan
Markle.
Markle.
She's the Duchess. You heard of her?
Markle.
Yes. Tuna.
Markle.
Yeah.
All right. Who else?
Well, that's the deal. With
Demi
Markle.
Lovato.
Demi Lovato.
You know her. She's a musician.
I do know her. Yeah.
Okay. And then the last one was Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman.
Yeah, everyone's saying
Someone said Avril Lavigne. Get
Avril
out.
Lavigne.
what?
She looks like Carrot Top. Okay, guys. Also, so we're about to turn the Schmoebot on in just a second here, and Sinead has no idea what the Schmoebot is, and that to me is exciting.
No.
Don't tell her. Don't tell her what it is. The Schmoebot will go on as soon as David's done putting this poll up, and we'll have the Schmoebot on for about 15 minutes. We're going to take your super chat and streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown. We are working on, by the way, because you guys, there's been so many generous donations, and David and I just spoke about it as we started. We're going to do something for the top donations really soon here. We're going to give away prizes and all that kind of thing too, because you speak of one here, Sinister Collector over on streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown throws in $150 to say $150 today just to say I wanted to help offset the cost of that new computer. Looking forward to more SEN live. I love seeing Mark and Kristian back together again. Thank you so much for your very
That's amazing.
generous.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yay.
That's so great.
Morse code Z. I had to leave before watching the watch along the other night, so I came back to do it later. I found out at the crash that Disney Plus makes it very easy to do watch alongs because it let me mouse over the timeline and set it to 8:25 without any hassle. So I'm going to be doing more of those watch alongs, and it's great because I sit in the chair, turn the TV on over there, and I can say, right now, pause it at 002. Let's get ready. 3, 2, 1. We watch it, and it seems to go off without a hitch. And I'll probably do it for the second episode. We still don't know when it drops. Did you watch Mandalorian yet?
I did.
What'd you think?
I liked it.
Me loved it.
Yeah,
Me
I
loved
really-
it.
Me loved it.
Me loved it. Me
I
loved
liked
it.
it.
It's like my 2-year-old. So yeah, me watch. So yeah, it was pretty great. I've seen it 4 times now. I don't know about everybody.
Yeah, I really liked it. I was nervous because I was so excited. Like I was way too excited about it. I was like, I need to calm the F down because I didn't want to like be disappointed.
And you weren't, though.
I finally watched Solo again for the second time, and I was so disappointed after seeing it the first time. And I'll tell you right now, I watched it and I liked it so much more. And I
Second
was
time?
like, yeah.
Expectations went down?
Yeah, and so after like that, I was like, this is a lesson to myself to not get too excited because I don't want to be disappointed in things I wouldn't regularly be disappointed. Because I would literally look to my boyfriend, I was like, Solo's so much better than what we made it seem.
I agree.
And he was like, yeah, like it's not as bad as like we were so upset that day. It's really not that bad.
I'll have to rewatch it. I guess part of the problem was I had such high expectations for like Donald Glover and like what was this gonna be, and I felt like it was a lot of fan service at the time where I was just like, this isn't even like a good way, you know what I mean? So maybe I'll watch it again.
And I have like a crazy bias. Like my son's name is Harrison for a reason. Like we named him after Harrison.
Get off my playground.
Yeah, and
Well done.
it's one of those
Well
things
done.
that I just like. I needed to give it some time, you know,
Yeah.
before watching it. After hearing like so many different things, but yeah, I loved Mandalorian.
I loved it. So you still haven't watched it yet?
No. So what I wanted to
you
do was
wanna watch 1 and 2?
I want to watch 1 and 2 back to back, just because I haven't had a lot of time the last few days,
Yeah.
so I just want uninterrupted time to watch it. So.
I did it last night. I did a thing because I'd already seen it. The third time was the watch along. So yesterday, and I was like a kid yesterday. And there's no excuse about it. I said to my wife, I was like, I'm going to show Vivian my 8-year-old Mandalorian. She's like, not on a school night. She's going to go to Amped Up. I'm going, all right. So she's in with the baby, putting her to sleep, and I go, Vivi, come here. And she sits and she's like, what? She's like, what are you watching? I go, don't worry about it. And I turn, she's like, The Mandalorian? She's like, Mama said we can't do that right now. I go, don't worry about it. So she's like, but I'm reading. I go, all right. So I start watching. She puts the book down. Good dad. And then we start watching her go through. We hear the door open. The both of us go. I turn it off. The 8-year-old takes up the book, starts reading the book in the middle of it. We did that 4 times, and then she's
That's
like,
amazing.
my wife goes, I knew you were going to do it anyway.
That's so funny.
It was really good. You ready for him? All right, ladies and gentlemen, or her, the Schmoebot up and running. If Sinead does not know what the Schmoeville is, I'm sure she's going to know pretty soon. But in the meantime, we are going to also say this is from WERK. Kristian, thank you for the Star Wars jibber jabber with Ken Knapsack throughout the years. How many potential seasons could it run? And percentages that Filoni will input a story for The Mandalorian to find Ezra Thrawn run into Sabine in a live-action Darksaber. A lot of stuff inside there. It's including a story for Ezra and Thrawn. I think that goes to the initial question of how many seasons it will go.
Do you want to do an over-under?
Yeah.
Over-under on 4.
On 4 seasons? Ooh, that's a good.
I go under.
I would set it at 4.2.
Okay.
Yeah, so that, do it like pardon interruption style.
Yeah. Okay.
Over under 4.2 seasons.
4 seasons and then like a movie,
which we're going to talk about today. Yeah, I'm gonna go under 4.2. I'll go under 4.2. Probably just crashing out at 4 because I think that's. I wouldn't be surprised if they stopped it at 3, depending on what happens with the other seasons. But inside of that, Thrawn and did you watch Rebels at all, Sinead? You should watch that with Harrison.
I know.
You should watch
I want to
it's
really bad.
Good.
What about you guys have to tell me after this? We don't do this on
Sure.
air, but you have to tell me after this, like all of the stuff that dropped on Disney Plus. We were like putting it, like we were like making notes of it,
Yeah.
like such.
Well, we can get
So
into that when we
much.
talk
That
about news.
library is crazy.
But I need to know like what the order is because Nils was like, we need to watch Rebels because that's the one that we've always heard about, and I was like, okay.
Clone Wars first.
And so that's what I need to know. Like I need to know the right way to go about it.
Let's get it when we get into the news and we'll talk about the 10 million subscribers I got on day 1. We'll get into a lot of that crap too. For sure. So anyway, I would tell you that I think that Ezra Thrawn probably not going to happen inside of there, but I say I'm with a little under 4.
I think they're gonna hit 5. I think
so?
I think they'll hit it right at 5 and be out.
Okay. PC says, hello, Sinead. So glad you're on SEN, and I hope you're back on soon. Us too. Go Blackhawks.
Yay.
And go Cubs. You don't Popcorn shower. Okay. Hello, you awesome people. Hello. Do you think the success of The Mandalorian is proof that it's possible to create Star Wars content that pleases majority of the fans? Thanks, and keep up the awesome work. 1 billion %. As I was watching it and thinking, and I have made it very clear that I love The Force Awakens. I really do. I watched some of The Force Awakens. It is trying very hard to be so brand new, and it's only 30 years afterwards. The thing about The Mandalorian, even though it's 5 years afterwards, it's like how radically different would the world change? Mandalorian to me, and again, I'm saying that sometimes The Force Awakens even jumps over Jedi for me, but it is trying so radically different to be a movie outside J.J. Abrams' version of Star Wars as where The Mandalorian is just trying to be Star Wars. Like it's not trying to be Favreau's version or Filoni's version. It's just Star Wars. And I think that it's episode 1. That could change tomorrow when this thing drops. But if it doesn't, this is what I hope films take hold of.
Well, that's why Rogue One to me is like one of the greatest movies ever. Not just Star Wars movies, but like one of the greatest movies ever. Because it's not like anything else, but you still feel like you're in that world 1,000%.
Yeah.
And it's like whenever I try to get anybody to get into Star Wars, I'm always like, watch Rogue One. Like I'm dead serious because I feel like once they are not overwhelmed with this like, and I love the fantastical element of all of it. It's great. But Rogue One is
raw.
Yeah, and Rogue One is like it's just so grounded and it's just good. It's just great.
Yeah.
And I just think that that's how I felt after watching The Mandalorian.
It's a good introduction, Rogue One, to episode 4 because you don't have to be steeped in lore at all. You don't have to learn about the Skywalkers until you want to.
You don't have to know anything because
really don't.
I've told so many of my friends and they're like, that was a great movie.
Yeah.
And without knowing a single thing.
And they know who Vader is, so when he shows up, it's still equally terrifying. And it carries over once episode 4 begins.
That's interesting. I wish I had thought to do that because my girlfriend had never seen Star Wars before, and I started her with A New Hope, and she hated it.
Whoa.
But then I showed her Force Awakens, and she really enjoyed it.
Same thing with my wife.
And so I think maybe Rogue One would have been a better situation in that
What's
regard.
funny, though, is that my wife loves episode 7 and 8. She loves those two. Couldn't give a crap about 4, 5, and 6, and hated Rogue One. I took her.
Wow.
Rogue One is like
Hated
polarizing because I've spoken to some people who literally think I'm insane for saying
I've
it's like,
never heard any.
hate Rogue One.
Do you really?
What?
I
Wow.
do.
Wow.
I don't hate
I respect everyone's opinion.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy, but I.
So you're boiling a kettle over here while she was talking.
No. Like it's a beautifully made film.
Yes.
And there are certain parts to respect, but I think it's pure fan service. Like you run into the guys from Tatooine on the You'll Be Dead guys. Like,
Oh yeah,
it's just fan service.
fun.
And then
Well,
abstractly, the Darth Vader scene is amazing because we've never seen Darth Vader like that in live action. But on the other side, you're rooting for like everyone's cheering, like, oh, this is so cool. It's like rooting for like a Nazi general cutting down U.S. troops at D-Day. Like, that's what you're rooting for.
What, Vader killing her?
Yeah, Vader killing
Dude,
all
that
the
scene
rebels.
is tight.
Yeah,
no matter
no,
what.
bro,
I
I
get
was-
it, like,
hold on,
But
no.
nobody's rooting for him. It's the fact that when you see him, you're watching it, saying that's awesome because it's Vader crushing.
it's
But you look, but it's
incredible.
because it's terrifying.
Yeah.
And it's the same way when Freddy Krueger is killing people. You go to the Nightmare on Elm Street movies to watch Freddy kill people. You're not a psychopath.
Those are two totally different movies, though.
No, but
like
you're still,
Vader never like says like, "Oh, it's prime time, bitch." Like he
but
never
he's still
drops
a villain who's
one-liners.
killing teens.
I know.
It's okay because he's cracking jokes at the funny
Okay,
bone.
okay. Then factually, like he sees Leia's ship get away.
Yeah.
He knows the plans are on there, but then suddenly Leia's like, "I don't know. What are you talking about?" It's like you just got away, and you literally
He didn't see Leia.
But he sees the ship.
He
So
sees
why?
the ship.
But why is Leia like acting like she didn't escape this battle?
Picked her up at
immediately?
Starbucks. She was at Starbucks. Didn't even know.
This is my Uber pool. What are you
That's
talking
right.
about?
All right. Well, I got to tell you something from that point of view, and then the Sopranos. That's the one you got the shit for.
Yeah.
Saying Sopranos was dated.
Oh, I know I'm gonna get murdered in this chat for not liking Road One.
I like that you stick to your guns, to be honest with you. But
Yeah.
but I think you're for the Sopranos thing.
Well, I haven't seen Sopranos. It's on my list of shows.
Go
to
ahead
watch.
and watch the first episode. Don't. I don't want to hear your point of view or my point of view.
Okay.
I want to first. Please watch the pilot, and then I
Okay.
want to hear your thoughts.
Okay, that's
Thanks.
fine.
I actually
'cause
do too.
That's it.
That's
sure.
fine because
Yeah.
it's interesting. A lot of shows they don't always like. For example, I just decided to rewatch Entourage for whatever reason
Okay.
a couple months ago, and it did not age very well. at
No,
all.
I watched it like 2-3 years ago when I first got HBO Go, and I'm like, whoa, college me loved this, but
Oh no,
it's
exactly. We
bad.
used to literally my frat. We would all sit and watch
Yeah,
the new episode
exactly.
together. I loved Entourage at the time, but it did not age very well at all. So
All right, I want to keep over here. Streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown. Like I said, the Schmoebot is open for another 15 minutes or so. But we are going to stick with Nick Piccolo. Hey, crew. Welcome back, Sinead. What is your guys' favorite Pixar short? Ooh. Also, as a white person, tuna should never touch my mac and cheese.
thank you.
Okay, that's good. I'm
gotta
glad to
try it
know.
first.
I'm happy to know that
blanket
some white
statements.
people out
Thank
there understand.
Well, I'll say it as white as possible. Tuna and cheese is so wonderful. You should try it before you say no, because then you just sound ignorant.
That's funny.
Okay, as far as the Pixar short, the one with the dog, when it was...
Oh
you know what
god,
I'm
the
talking
dog and
about?
the cat. You
No,
talking
no,
about the
no,
junk-
no,
the
no. It's the
junkyard?
one where the guy he's got his dog and they're just buddies and he serves him like the food off the table and this is like really. We have the sound back, guys.
Oh, it's back.
It's back now.
Back.
Okay, all right, we're back. All right, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay,
got
we're
it.
back.
We got it.
Okay, so the Schmoebot, for some reason, the Schmoebot has been sabotaging the
Yeah.
show lately. So maybe
I mean,
Yeah,
it's doing
well-
what it's programmed to do: kill conversation.
I know that's what that's what
We'll
it's
have to dive into maybe resetting some things.
Yeah, we'll have to reset.
Yeah.
All right, so we want to shut the Schmoebot off, or should we give it a shot again and see what happens?
It's still on for now.
All right, Schmoebot's still on, so good luck to the Schmoebot. Anyway, the Schmoebot,
Good luck to
besides
us.
besides sabotaging the show, would come in here and do exactly what it did. But Ryan C had submitted that Schmoebot, and here's what it said. But I'll do it as Busey here. Hey guys, I've been working on my Gary Busey impression. Here we go. Hi, I'm Gary Busey. Most evenings I eat my neighbor's garbage, and soon I'll have gained the powers of the mighty raccoon. What do you think, McClunky? So that was it. Javier D just noticed that the Schmoebot has the exact same thing in his chest that IG-11 does. That's interesting. Man of Winter. Hey, Sinead, did you ever go back and watch Game of Thrones from the beginning after those funny season 7 recaps that you did on TV Talk a couple years ago? Also, what's your favorite show of 2019?
Ooh, that's a good question. I did not go back and watch it.
Okay.
I was really, really exhausted after Game of Thrones ended. I'm not gonna lie, and I wanted to go back and watch it, but I think I need to wait. I need to wait until I've forgotten a lot of things that people have told me, like, or things that I've read. Because, like, as I was watching 7 and 8, I was getting filled in with, like, things to make it all make sense. And the reason why I loved 7 so much is because I didn't actually know anything, and I was learning and discovering it, which the right thing to do would have been to start from the beginning, obviously. But too late for that.
Honestly, don't, because the first seasons are so much better that you won't like the later seasons even more. Like, that's what happened, because I watched it right before season 8 started, and I was like, oh man.
Well, that's why I want to wait. I want to wait to have some time. Because I watch so much TV and movies that it's like, I feel like when I've done this before, it's actually worked. Where I will not think about something for a while and watch so much other shit that I will be able to start and be able to do it. I started Lost. I'd never seen it before.
Wow, what do you think?
I haven't seen it either.
Well, I'm in season 3 right now, and I'm like, I don't know if I should stop. Because I'm starting to get burned out. Well, I'm at the end. I'm sorry, I haven't started season 3, and then everyone's been telling me, "Get to season 3, get to season 3."
Two was two. So even when it aired, so the biggest problem, you're lucky you can watch it now in streaming, because season 1 was phenomenal, right? And then season 2 happens, and there was this big gap in between.
Because of the writer's strike, right?
Yeah, and there was a lot of filler inside of it because of the writer's strike, and there was stuff that they had to kind of push in. 3 gets going.
Okay,
so stick with it.
Okay, I trust you. I really do. Because for a while there, I haven't watched it in like a week now. Because I was like watching it every day.
Two was a tough one.
It's tough. It's really hard to get through. And I'm at the end of the season, and I'm just like, I can't do this again.
You'll get hooked once you hit 3.
It was really interesting to see what shows survived like the writer's strike apocalypse. Because like Heroes was the same way. Heroes was great season 1. Season 2 got cut off midway because of the strike, and then it never recovered.
Really?
Yeah, Lost recovered, but
okay, that's good to know.
I would say, how'd you feel about the ending? You don't have to get into spoiler territory, but like, did you enjoy it?
I didn't mind it as much as everyone else did.
Okay. It's the ending was very hit or miss, like Sopranos and whatnot.
And and I'm just like, I'm really nervous because I loved Leftovers, and I left really disappointed from Leftovers. And I've also I've heard, I don't know how Lost ends at all, but I have heard from everybody in the entire world that it was like the most disappointing ending of all time. Or we've talked about it on Collider, and I have zero clue what happens, which makes me excited. And I never ever want to be spoiled on it because I still want to be able to figure it out for myself. And I'm watching Watchmen now too, so like obviously, what's his face, Lindelof, right? He does a great job of like.
It's on his business card. What's his face, by the way?
He does a really great job of allowing the audience to ask questions.
Yeah.
Like he gives you all these things to ask questions, and I don't want it to be like a Leftover situation with.
You didn't like Leftovers ending?
I hated it.
Oh wow!
I hated it.
Wow.
Absolutely hated it.
Okay.
In comparison to everything that it was leading up to.
I dug it. Yeah,
really?
Yeah, really. I thought it fit together with the tone, because I was worried about it, because even though I didn't mind the ending of Lost, you kind of saw, you could guess where it's going, and some people had even theorized that where it went was exactly what was going to happen. I didn't see that with Leftovers, but I dug it. But that guy, the guy who wrote, I guess was it the book? For some, he had something to do with Leftovers. He's doing Mrs. Fletcher. Have you watched any Mrs. Fletcher? It's pretty good so far.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard it's really good.
2 episodes. I like it though.
Cool.
Okay, let's move on here. Still over at the streamlabs.com/Schmoeville.
Pixar short.
Favorite Pixar short. Yeah, I was telling about that dog. So and then eventually the woman comes over, and he forms this relationship. The dog kind of takes a back seat, but he still then they get married. It's really
I have to
endearing.
remember that one.
Paperman is a good one too.
That one's good. I liked the one with the pit bull that was being abused and the little kitten that comes in. That wrecked me.
Okay.
And then Bao.
Bow's a good one.
I
My daughter.
watched the little trailer for that on Disney Plus. It was so freaking cute.
So adorable.
My daughter freaked out when that happened. She was so invested in it, and then she's like, "Oh my God, she just ate her kid."
Spoiler alert, Kristian.
Whatever. So that's your favorite?
I mean, I haven't seen it.
I think getting a giant
There we go. Let's try
schlong
this.
shoved up my poop chute would be more respected than Ben's. take on Vader. Sinead has grown so much I almost couldn't believe this was the same lady.
All right,
You had moaning on the old show.
yeah.
White guy engineer has 3 first names.
Did it? How's the sound? Is the sound? Did
No,
we
yeah,
make
it's still good. It made
Okay.
it.
It made it. It
Yeah.
made it through. Man,
Thank God.
everybody got hit with that one,
Right?
except us.
I was just barely skating by.
Oh, that was good.
That's funny.
Or
That was
we
good.
like we like the Wonder Twins or something, or Firestorm. As long as we
survived the apocalypse there because what did he say? I got to read that one. Give me who should read it? Who should read it?
Dumbledore.
Dumbledore. All right. I think getting a giant schlong shoved up my poop chute
Jesus.
would be more respected than Ben's take on Vader. Sinead has grown oh so much. I almost couldn't believe this was the same lady you had moaning on the old show. White guy engineer has 3 first names.
White guy engineer. Wow.
White guy engineer, yeah.
Is there a character limit?
What's wrong with Tuna? That's good. Okay.
Yo, if you ever get in the Schmoedown, I think that's got to be your name. And now coming to the stage, David, what's wrong with Tuna?
David Michael Bryan. Oh, that's really good. Okay, let's see. Joe and PA. Hey, Winston. The ball don't lie. You look like Rasheed Wallace. Hashtag fire.
Fucking damn it. I should have never said nothing.
You were so hesitant too because you're like, I
Because
think
it annoys the shit out of me.
with
That's
a different haircut and this Rasheed, and then the whole chat was like, "Ball don't lie."
Yeah, it's true.
God.
Hashtag fly Eagles fly. Hashtag Dallas sucks.
They just love to
Busting your
just,
balls.
that's
Well,
fine.
You didn't
It's
get hit
fine.
with it. Let's see. I want to hit.
Wait, did you? I know this isn't really a sports
go
talk,
ahead.
but did you see Austin Rivers get his dad teched up and thrown out of the
No,
game?
what happened?
That
So
was
he's
amazing.
He's plays for the Rockets now, and they were playing the Clippers, and the ref was like arguing with him. He was like, "T, give him a T." So they gave his dad a T and threw him out the game.
Oh, that's
and then he
amazing.
tweeted immediately after, like, "Man, Thanksgiving gonna be awkward as fuck."
That's amazing. Going over to Rohit over on streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown. Great to finally catch you guys on a live stream. It's 2:15 a.m. here in Singapore. Welcome back, Sinead, and it was amazing to see Ashley earlier in the week. The entire team is brilliant, and keep up the work. Hats off to you, Mr. Harloff. Well, hats off to you, sir. Thank you for watching. I'm glad you got a chance to watch. I'm glad you got a chance to watch when Sinead is on. Pretty excited for that. I'm going to shoot on over to the Superchats. Yes, we are keeping the good old Schmoebon on. It survived the second one,
Yeah.
so hopefully it survives the rest of them. Let's see. Okay, let's start. We're going to start here today with Gamma Comics Collectibles. Sinead, welcome. Kristian, I would say I'm a huge huge Star Wars fan, but I haven't watched any of the animated shows.
Rebooting. Skynet Online. Ben, you are targeted for SEN termination for
I knew
that
it was
whack
gonna
take
happen.
on Rogue One. JK love the show though. Hi Sinead.
I am impressed that the Schmoebot can get Sinead's name right.
I
Yeah,
know.
I'm actually really impressed too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Scary.
because like Siri can't get it right.
No, she got it. She got it. The Schmoebot's impressive.
Robot Siri.
Thank you for
It's
that.
honestly starting to scare me because now she says "fingy" and the bingy correctly.
Yeah.
She's learning her name.
Yeah,
Like,
she's learning.
It's learning.
It's learning.
Yeah, it's
The
right.
You just
Schmoebot's
heard
gonna
that they
help.
rebooted Skynet.
I want Schmoebot to host this show eventually. Let me sleep a little longer.
Don't say that.
I'm saying.
Your mic's gonna just cut
it's
off.
true. That's fine. I will host it. I am actually hosting it through your brain.
Have you never seen Smart House?
I was
Christian?
just
I
going
know.
to say that. I was just going to say that.
He's in Smart House.
I'm in
apparently.
Smart House.
Wait, really?
No, I'm kidding. No, I'm
Oh,
just,
duh! You look like the kid. in
Yeah,
Smart
you
House. That's
do.
right.
You totally do. Whatever happened to that guy?
He works here now.
He still works. I Googled him the other day because
Yeah.
it was on Disney Plus now.
Yeah,
So it's like I
love
posted
that
that. I was
movie.
like, oh, catching up on my reel. And he's still working. He's done stuff this year.
Damn, that's tight.
Yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
seen Smart House?
No.
Can you watch it,
I will
please?
watch
Watch it with your baby. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
A Disney
Yeah,
Channel original
she will
movie.
love it.
Well,
Watch
Smart
it.
House and Luck of the Irish.
Yeah.
What was
Yes.
Pain and Glory was the one that
Yeah.
Rachel's. I got that yesterday. I'm gonna,
Oh,
I'm gonna
yes,
watch.
pop
I'm gonna
that
check
in.
that out. I'm gonna watch that. Okay. Gamma Comics Collectibles says Sinead, welcome, Kristian. I would say I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but I haven't watched any of the animated shows. Now that all the animated shows are on Disney Plus, what order or where do I start watching them? So
Yep,
this is a
that's
conversation that we wanted to have
literally
before.
in the exact same boat as me.
Yes. Okay. So this is what I would suggest for anybody who wanted to watch the animated. Start with Clone Wars.
Okay.
Now, this is a question I asked. I think I don't know. It was on this show, but I don't know when I asked it. So the Clone Wars, it was a weird thing.
Is that the one that gets a bad rap?
No, that's the movie. So there was an anime. I don't even think you can find that anymore. I don't think it's on Disney Plus. But the actual movie itself was the first thing they released. Dave Filoni, who directed the first episode of Mandalorian, directed that movie, and it's bad. It's really bad. And I remember seeing that movie.
Is it just the first 4 episodes
No.
combined? Or was
It
the
just
actual
one.
movie?
It was about like an hour and a half movie. It's bad. And Ahsoka Tano, who was loved by people, debuted in this, and they hated her because it was terrible. And I sing the praises of Dave Filoni every second I get, but I remember seeing him at this premiere that I went to of this movie and going, look at that guy in the hat. He just ruined Star Wars. Now I want him to run Star Wars. But anyway,
He's the guy in the hat.
Yeah, because he wears that hat. But anyway,
Where's that hat?
the show, when they released it, it's like this weird thing. Like if you Google how to watch the Clone Wars in canon order, the first episode you're supposed to watch is in season 3.
Oh, that's weird.
But I don't know if Disney Plus carried that over. I have to watch. If I watch it, and you can still look it up. But what I would do is, if you're going to watch Clone Wars, search that out, watch it in order. It'll give you a full list. Then watch Rebels. Then watch Resistance.
Wait, so like I can't just start Clone Wars? You're saying I have to watch it in a different order?
I don't know how Disney Plus set it up, but all
Yeah.
you need to do, IGN had set up this whole big list of.
I feel like I remember that.
Well, kind of they did that with the MCU. They were like, if you want to watch like in chronological order, don't actually watch it how they were released.
Right.
Watch it.
Right.
And so I would just search that. I'm going to watch, and I'm going to search either later on today or tomorrow on Disney Plus because I know which episode actually opens up first, and maybe they changed it. But if they didn't, just Google the list, watch it that way. It's very easy to do now, especially now the way that it's on Disney Plus. The only thing that you won't be able to watch is the movie, and that because that's like the 4th or 5th thing you're supposed to watch.
I think people are saying in the chat that the movie's on there
Is
too.
it?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay, cool. Because I didn't see that. So there you go. So
Is it
everything's
cool?
on there.
Is it?
It's good if you want to be caught up on all of it.
Fair. Okay.
If you want to be
All
caught up on all of it.
Yeah, because I remember watching it on Netflix, and this character dies, and then like 5 episodes later, he's just in there chatting with someone. I was like, wait, is there a time jump? What happened? Yeah.
The chat's also saying that Disney Plus has them as released, so look for that list.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it is. I watched it with my daughter that way. The actual the way you're supposed to watch it in canon, and it just makes so much more sense.
Okay,
because
that's cool.
because that episode that's supposed to start the whole series, it hits you in season 3, and you're like, this is bizarre. Why is it here? So it does help tremendously.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so thank you for that question. That was something we were gonna cover anyway. All right, gonna keep the Schmoebot on for another 10 minutes. Gonna go through some of these super chat questions. Keep firing them in there, guys, because the way that it works. If you didn't know, we're going to be hitting the Streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown questions. We hit a lot of those. Then we'll do what happened.
You see, Jason Bradshaw just dropped $100 in the chat and said, "May this be the start of Winston's shirt fund."
All right, I'll get back in there in a second and read that off. So thank you for that donation. But again, Streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown. What's the difference? Streamlabs doesn't take a percentage, as where YouTube does. Whatever you guys are comfortable with, it's totally up to you. We're going to do all the news, and then we'll come back to the Streamlabs and Schmoedown. But also, Sinead's also sitting here, and she did something that nobody had done before. Some people have done it since, but she was the first. She sang the national anthem at the first Schmoedown Spectacular.
What?
And it was great. Would you ever do it again?
Yeah, absolutely.
And this time we would do it because now we do it in front of live crowds. We're doing December 7th. We're downtown
I was
LA.
in front of a crowd at that time. It was a smaller crowd.
It was. It was a big crowd. I mean, there was like at least 50, 60 people.
Yeah.
But I'm talking as far as the
Like an arena.
You've been to the live events that we've done
Yes,
for Schmoedown,
yes.
so we're doing that because Janine the Machine. I don't know if I announced this yet, but I'll do it now. Janine the Machine is singing the national anthem this year, which is
very cool.
She is so talented. She's every which way, and one of the sweetest people I've ever. You ever met Janine?
Yeah.
She's
No, she's the best.
the best.
She's so nice.
She's so good. Anyway, she's going to be singing the national anthem. Brianne Chandler did it last year, and she will be doing it this year. And yeah, so who's that? Oh, my dad's calling. Oh, not right now. He doesn't know I'm on the air. So when do you start your show?
I can patch him in if you.
No, we're all right. I'm hooked up. What? What am I on? Dad, you just got the whole network shut down with that one statement. Okay, so anyway, we are going to be at downtown LA on December 7th at schmoedownlive.com. Get your tickets. You can also get the tour shirt. We made sure that those are all available too. And then we'll be in New York on January 25th. Okay, sticking with the super chats here. Joel Godina, excuse me. What up, Mother Fs? Do you think the Broom Kid from TLJ will have any significant role in the Rise of Skywalker or upcoming Star Wars movie shows? No.
I don't think so. I
Not
think
at all.
that was just to prove a point.
It was a point.
And I that was a beautiful point. It's one of the reasons why I love The Last Jedi. I know you don't, but like it
That's
was one
accurate,
of the things that you said it yesterday. That's one of the things I really liked about it. It's just like it was
Anybody can have the Force.
Right.
I
think that was the point.
I don't dislike that.
Yeah.
I don't dislike that anyone could have the Force. That's something that I think makes sense.
Yeah.
I didn't like the notion. They didn't stick with that notion that the Jedi are awful. They should all be gone. They didn't stick with that notion. They're obviously, even Luke at the end was like, he says, "I won't. You're wrong. I won't be the last of the Jedi." And there's going to be more to that. But I like the idea that there's people out there that are Force sensitive. It opens up a lot of possibilities. But that's why I agree with Winston. I think that he's just a kid that showed up.
It was just like I didn't even notice it the first time I watched it. My roommate pointed out because I was like, okay, it's the end of the movie. I didn't even notice him doing like the little broom thing. I was like, oh, that's so cool.
But oh wait, just got news. A spin-off movie, Broom Kid, coming out in 2027.
Yes.
I'm Broom Kid, everybody. You remember me? No one remembers you. Get out of here. You and Dustin Diamond. All right, let's see. So you remember, what if Dustin Diamond was Broom Kid? That I'd watch.
I don't know wrestling.
Who you don't need to know wrestling. You never watch Saved by the Bell?
Oh, see, that's never watched Saved by the Bell either.
Yeah, Screech. You know who Screech
okay,
is,
yeah, Screech, yeah.
Dustin Diamond does sound like a wrestler.
It
though.
does.
I really can't give you shit on that one.
Oh,
because-
yeah, with the duster.
Because even DDP had the diamond cutter.
Yeah, he had
so
the diamond
so
cutter.
I can't. As much as I like to make funny, I can't make funny on that one. That's a good one. Tuna.
What's wrong?
What's
wrong?
the deal with dusting?
I really want to make a T-shirt. This is what's wrong with tuna. Okay, Kristian Alante, good name, with Black Adam announced for 2021, December 2021. Which comic book movie takes the box office crown in 2021? He said Spider-Man, but it could easily be Batman. It could easily be Batman, especially with this cast. We'll talk about that today. They confirmed Andy Serkis. I mean, shit, we can talk about it now.
I would make the argument that if Batman doesn't take it, then it's a giant flop of a movie.
No, you can't. What if it makes a shit ton and Spider-Man just makes a little bit more?
I didn't think we necessarily meant wins as in like the most money.
That's what they're saying. They're saying what's going to have the box office crown.
Okay,
what's going to win the box office crown? If it doesn't hit a certain number,
I'll run that back. I meant like when we go away looking at it, like the highest rated, the one that people talk the most about, et cetera, et cetera.
Still, you think it needs to be the highest rated one over the Nolan movies?
Considering the cast you put together, the hype you've put in behind this, and everything else, I feel like there's no way you don't. Because like the next Spider-Man,
a lot of expectations.
I mean, the next Spider-Man will be good, I'm sure, but like nobody's like, oh, we can't wait to see.
I see what you're saying though, because the first Spider-Man movie that Tom Holland did had to be good because that last what's
Amazing Spider-Man,
Andrew Garfield, that was such a disaster that everyone's like, oh, if Spider-Man misses here, it's over.
Right.
Batman, I don't think it needs to be the best one out of all of them, but it needs to be pretty damn good.
I mean, Spider-Verse is the lowest grossing Spider-Man movie out of all of them, and it's easily the best Spider-Man movie.
Yeah. Did you like Spider-Verse? Did you see Spider-Verse?
Yeah, I loved it so much.
So good, that movie.
Good. Like, it's like stupid good.
Is Harrison too young to watch that?
Yeah, we tried.
You tried. You didn't get it. Yeah.
Oh, you look so upset about that.
You know what? Last week, he watched Lego Avengers.
Oh, wow.
And Lego Avengers he liked.
Okay.
I've put you guys, you have no idea. He's got Thor underwear. He's got Spider-Man underwear. I'm like trying to slip it into like any aspect of his life. And last week, I just put it on all the time. I'm like, oh, what are you doing? He's like, I'm watching my iPad. I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to watch Avengers. Or I'm going to watch Spider-Man. He doesn't give two shits.
Right. Is it good for you?
But I put Lego Avengers on, and he was like glued to the
Legos,
TV.
man. Legos is like, it's like crack for those kids.
Yeah.
For some
He loves
reason.
it.
Did he like Lego Batman? Has he seen that one yet?
No, we tried that one. He wasn't doing it. Lego
Batman's
Avengers he
good.
liked because I have all the Avengers like figurines. So if he can connect it to something in my house, then he's
Got
into
it.
it. Like he has like a Star Wars like whatchamacallit, he has like some of the Tsum Tsums. And so like when we were watching Star Wars, like I can see he's like, oh, I have that thing. Like I have it.
Right. So it's okay. So
Yeah,
you
you know,
relate to it a
because
little bit more.
he's 3.
Well, you said he was into Toy Story now, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
well,
so
we have everything.
That's probably I get it. Then that in his mind, I bet he's even thinking, "Oh my God,
yeah.
if you have it, they walk around and do the Avengers
Right.
thing."
Like he likes to connect things. That's why he has an obsession with like logos. And like if like a Best Foods logo or commercial comes on, he'll like run to the pantry.
That's awesome.
And like grab the mayonnaise and like look at the TV and look at the thing. Like if he can connect to it, he gets excited.
That's a magical.
I will say though, that's mentioned in this. Also, we said because The Rock announced today that Black Adam is definitely coming out in 2021.
Yeah.
I do think that this movie, and I like Shazam a lot. I think this movie does better than Shazam because the addition of The Rock. Because I think Shazam should have done a lot better than it did. It did
Yeah.
very well.
It did good, but it
should have
didn't
done
do like gangbusters.
No, and it should have because it was one of the
It's
best
great.
DC movies that they have out there. I love Shazam. I thought Shazam was great. So
I think it's the best DCEU movie. That or Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
I think that well, you know, it's funny. I probably have problems with both of the endings of both those movies. But
I
agree.
I think Wonder Woman's probably the better movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, Chris Pine and Wonder Woman together, they're great.
It's
They
really
make
good.
that movie.
I'm so curious about what 1984 is
Yeah.
going to be.
Yeah.
I'm
'Cause
nervous.
I'm a little nervous because of the lack of detail that I just don't know enough about
the
it.
continuous pushbacks, the lack of detail.
Nobody.
Right.
I don't feel like anybody knows anything.
Nobody knows
about
about it.
How
anything
Chris
about
Pine
it.
is still in the movie
Right.
somehow.
It's like, is it alternate reality? Yeah, I don't know.
He's wearing a members only
Yeah,
jacket.
yeah, I know. Going back to Joel Godina again. Hey, Winston, have you ever seen Undercover Brother?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh
And
my
Undercover
God.
Brother 2, I saw 8 minutes of it. Was like, I gotta turn this trash off.
Is there two?
It's on
they
Netflix,
just
I
released
just
it
saw
on
Is
it.
Netflix.
Eddie Griffin in that too?
No. So this is what's confusing about it. So Michael Jai White replaces Eddie Griffin, but he's amazing in Black Dynamite. I'm like, just do another Black Dynamite,
Yeah.
which they're doing.
Yeah, they are.
And like stay away from which my agent was actually pushing to get me because I told her I was like, there's an Undercover Brother 2 happening. Get me in this movie. I am so glad she didn't get me into this movie because it's not good.
No, huh? Stinks. Oh,
But Undercover Brother's amazing.
You brought that up, I think. Once
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
All right.
Love Undercover Brother.
Darren Bursch. It's worth the wait, Kristian. Just keep doing what you're doing, and you make my mornings. Thank you, guys. I'm so glad that that's the case. That's the point of this is to. Someone said to me yesterday, I can't remember what it was, and I said this is what we wanted to do is bring the comedy because when it comes to morning shows and you're listening, you can find this show, by the way, on podcasts. You just go to the Schmoeville Entertainment Network. People have been asking about that. You can listen to podcast form. My show, Star Wars, is now available on Spotify, so if you want to listen to that there. But it just because even when she came in today, she's like, it's just kind of loose form. Do I need to prepare? Like, we're just gonna shoot the shit. She's like, I love that. So that's because that's
best.
it's just you can go any direction. We might cover everything, we might not. We'll cover what we put in the headline because that's what people tune in for. And I think that people also understand what clickbait is and what it isn't.
Yeah.
Like because yesterday when we had the thing about Spider, well, we had the thing about
Someone
you
tried to
saw
say it was
that.
clickbait,
Well, we had
yeah.
the thing with Spider-Man yesterday, and we said that Spider-Man is not going to make its way to Disney Plus. And then we talked about it for a while, right? It's like, well, it's a clickbaity title. No. Clickbait is when I saw some clickbait the other day where it's just like, hey, this is going to happen and this is definitely going to be, or what the question was, oh, yeah, is this what so-and-so said? And they have pictures of just a bunch of nonsense.
If you have to use a question mark in the headline to make it not just an absolute lie, that's clickbait.
Yeah.
You know, like so-and-so says this question mark, so-and-so does this question mark.
You got to follow a film clickbait. There's a Twitter, and it's usually like other sites, and they'll like just take a picture of the title and be like, no, he didn't.
Right.
It's like
That's kind of what it is. So, but it's also, it depends on how you cover it and the questions that you ask. Even if you have put a question mark on it, it's like, what is the topic? It's like, okay, so-and-so says this, question mark. They said that, but what does it mean? And it's like, if you have a topic
Right.
about it and you cover it for like 5 to 10 to 15 minutes, you're covering the topic. It's one thing if it's just like, oh, new Spider-Man movie drops today. You think it'll happen? Maybe. Moving on. Like that to me
Yeah.
is clickbait.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Chris Evans might return to the MCU. He said he liked playing Captain America.
Right.
That's what he said.
Now that can it's a whole discussion.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But like, I mean, I don't understand why someone was so bent out of shape because we talked about it for like a solid 5 minutes. There wasn't necessarily a whole lot to dig into it. It was just like, hey, Sony and Disney still aren't the best of friends.
I think it's definition. I think it's definition of what they think it is and what it really is. And like you can, it's like. Anyway, it's a whole thing.
Oh, the internet.
Suge Knight 323, he's back. Kristian, your true fans are here for you. Screw the haters. Thank you so much. Super hype for the Mandalorian tomorrow. Better movie. 3 ninjas or surf ninjas.
3 ninjas.
Surf
I
ninjas.
love me some
Oh,
surf
wow.
ninjas, but 3 ninjas all the way, dude. That was literally Home Alone meets Ninja Turtles. How the fuck you beat that?
I'm sticking up for David Michael Frank because Rob Schneider's in Surf Ninjas.
Dude, I love Rob Schneider. I don't know. I can play. We're gonna do an episode where I like just bring in clips of things that I think are funny, and I do love tuna and cheese.
David Michael Frank crushing it today.
Fire.
All right, Corey Knott. All right, this is an impression. Saw Gerrera, Gandalf, and Obama ordering at Hooters. All right, who does? I guess I'll have to do Saw Gerrera and Gandalf. And you want to do Obama?
I guess so. I
Say,
got one
Dumbledore and Saul Guerrero kind of sound the same, to be honest.
Gandalf and
Gandalf.
and so we'll do let's see, we'll do Saw Gerrera. Bert Gully.
Oh,
And when
God.
they say, I would like to order, I don't know what voice I'm doing now, but Hurry, I need wings.
I'll take the 8 order of Atomic. Sounds delicious. Oh, and 3 Mile Island. Try not to feel things today.
You shall not burn my tongue. That's all I got. Sorry for that. All right,
I think
Jason.
it's because they only know I can about Obama. They don't know the other voice.
What can you do?
I do like a decent Lil Wayne.
Okay.
And
You gotta start working on some new ones.
yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. I did a Cat Williams a long time ago, so
Okay.
I gotta try and get that back in the repertoire.
Do you do
And,
Cat Williams getting punched in the head by an 18-year-old? Did you ever see that video?
Choked out.
Yeah. All right.
little boy.
Jason Kalushi. Tuna Mac and Cheese. White folks be broke too. It's not. I'm telling you. Here's what I do. My daughters get this.
I gotta. Okay.
That would have been good by the Schmobot too.
Yeah, that would have been amazing on the Schmobot.
all right.
Okay, I'm gonna tweet out later because I found this amazing string of things where it was like a girl was tweeting like, "Oh, take care of your man," and then it's like a picture of $1 being like, "Go and get yourself a haircut, boo boo," and then it was like, "Take care of him every day," and it was like, "And here's another $1 so you can get some food." And the last photo is a dude has a piece of bread with some ice on it and a bowl cut.
All right, let's see. So you know we're gonna get into some news here because we will turn the Schmobot off. Schmobot's going off. And we will get into some news. There's a lot of news that we've already kind of covered, but we'll do some more, and then we'll make sure that we turn the super chat back on. And again, I know there's a lot of super chats coming in. You can continue to donate now, and streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown. We're going to get to all of them today with Sinead Devries, Winston Marshall, Ben Goddard, and the man who loves tuna. He is David Michael Frank and Rob Schneider. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay, let's start with the main topic here. Ben, what's going on?
Okay, so in an article from Collider, they were talking to Alan Horn. Sorry, I got the name wrong. They were talking about Disney's kind of monopolization of media, which I found very interesting. And then with the success of Mandalorian, Alan Horn said, "The Mandalorian is already proving to be a big thing. So if that series proves to be compelling, that we reverse engineer into a theatrical release, a 2-hour film, whatever, okay."
Okay.
End quote.
Yeah, so I mean that goes back to what we were just kind of saying earlier, right? It's like what makes me nervous about it is because that Alan Horn is a very good studio head, and he's not trying to make creative decisions in those things. But like what studio heads can do sometimes if things are very popular, and if a lot of people signed up to Disney Plus because of The Mandalorian, and then he's like, well, let's start looking at a maybe spinoff here too. Let's let it be a successful television show first. I mean, even The Sopranos had 5 or 6 or 7 seasons, and it's getting a movie 10 years later, right? Entourage, same thing, years later. Sex and the City, bunch of seasons.
Deadwood just got a new movie too.
Yeah, and years later.
Yeah.
You know, let it be a series first. You have so much content in Star Wars of what you can do that I don't need a Mandalorian movie. I want to be invested in the show right now. Do you agree, or do you see the other way?
No, I agree. And I think that, like, they have, like you said, there's so much that, like, they can do.
Right.
So, like, just play around with it. And that's the cool thing about Disney Plus. Like, they have the freedom to do that right now. And so maybe that's where his comments are coming from, because he's just like, dude, we can do whatever. So, like,
I think
maybe that's why he's like, oh, and if it ends up being a 2-hour movie, like, whatever, we can do that, you know?
Interesting question. Do we know the amount of episodes for this first season?
8.
Okay, so here's a question. Do you think that The Mandalorian will show up in episode 9?
No.
Why not?
One, because that's J.J. Abrams is not going to combine anything right now.
Sure.
He's going to do his own thing, and it's going to be more of the new saga closing out the saga, and it's not going to relate. Now, if certain things that he and Dave Filoni collaborated on, maybe story points, maybe, but the Mandalorian as he is, let's say he's 40.
Sure.
He's going to be 70 years old by the time episode 9 runs.
Alien.
We don't know he's an alien. We think he's human.
I wouldn't be mad if
but
they...
if he's a Mandalorian, though,
Yeah, they're humans.
I thought that they were like all like slightly different. Am I off
I was
base
gonna
there?
ask, like, how do Mandalorians age?
Yeah. Oh, I want to clarify
Sorry,
for Ben though too.
no
That was not that article did not come from Collider. It was Variety. It was at the Variety Business Managers Breakfast where Alan Horn gave those comments.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad if they ended each season with, like, an hour and a half episode just to like
Yeah.
see how that flows. And if we all know that that's what's going to happen and that's how they're going to do it,
Right.
like, oh, the season finale is going to be like double the amount of time, or like a short movie, you know, like a made for TV movie type of length, I wouldn't be mad at that at all. But like, yeah, I just think they just started. Like,
It's just I mean, that's because it's so successful. That's
Yeah.
what happens with studios sometimes. Like, oh, everyone loves this one. Positive vibes here. Make the movie. It's like, and I don't think that's what he's doing. I think you're exactly
and I think
right.
everybody's probably asking him that. It's probably like every single press
Right.
outlet's like, so like, are we going to see a movie? Are we going to see a movie?
Right.
So it makes sense.
But the flip side of that is, and this is a point that I think is very intriguing about the Disney Plus series. It makes it an option, like you were saying. It makes it a serious option of where let's say someone is introduced inside of the Mandalorian, a certain character that they didn't know was going to hit, but
Right.
he becomes huge.
Right.
Then it's like, well, that character can actually spin off, and the galaxy is so big that we can actually make it a feature film and give this person 3 movies. That's intriguing in not just The Mandalorian, but something that could happen in Obi-Wan, something that could happen in Cassian Andor, or something that could happen inside of a brand new series.
Right,
So there's
right.
just potential because of what the Star Wars IP brings.
That's what I was thinking, is because there's so many anthology shows now, American Horror Story, True Detective. If we only got one solid season of The Mandalorian, as much as I love the first episode, I'd kind of be okay with it and just do one season of each, like Obi-Wan, Cassian Andor. Just explore the Star Wars universe. We don't have to see it just through the Mandalorian's eyes.
Right.
Like, if this season is solid, like, let it go.
Just leave it
Yeah.
alone, because I like I said, I've watched this episode 4 times already, and it's like this little mini movie that I got to watch, even though it's like 40 minutes. But I didn't get. It's like, I don't know. I got way more excited to watch that than I have anything in Star Wars recently.
Yeah.
And because I've just, even when he's walking through and I'm looking in the background, watching the droids, watching the aliens in the cantinas, and I want to see more of that. And I think because it's television, you have so much time to explore that don't jump into doing movies, because I know I'm in the minority. I couldn't give a crap if we don't get a movie in a while.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be excited when we go to the theater. It's a fun experience. But if I have Star Wars TV for the next, I don't know, 10 years,
Yeah.
I don't need a movie. I know that I'm in the minority, but
No, I agree with
yeah.
you.
Well, I mean, there's been this weird push from Disney to try and get people out of movie theaters anyway. Like, that's what this big Disney Plus thing is if they can just control your content from start to finish, and they're getting a guaranteed $7 versus the occasional $7 a couple times a year, they're gonna.
Yes and no, because if you're looking at like something like Endgame, which is the most profitable movie of all time,
Sure.
it depends on what kind of movies. If you have the IP that can bring in the box office, because even if we'll get into this next story, I guess, with the Disney Plus and the subscribers that they got, you put 10 million times 6, and that's a lot of macaroni and cheese and tuna.
Yeah.
So,
But that's every
Yeah.
month though. Versus like, sure, Endgame ran for what? It's probably still in theaters right now.
No, it's out now, but yeah,
But you know, so that ran from like April until last month.
something like that.
So I mean, that's a decent amount. But like, again, if you can consistently get 10 million by 7 every month.
right?
But I feel like this year was a good kind of heat temperature meter about, and that's a bad analogy, but like 5 out of 6, 7 movies so far of Disney have grossed over $1 billion.
Right.
Yeah.
Aladdin, Lion
King.
King, and then the 3 MCU movies.
Right.
I think the only one that didn't do great is Dumbo.
No, yeah, that one.
And how's
Yeah.
Maleficent doing?
Not that
Not
great.
that great. So
Not that
yeah,
great,
so
but
that's a 5 out of 7, and then you have Star Wars coming out,
Right, which will hit
next
$1 billion.
month. Yeah,
But,
easily hit $1 billion.
But I get that, I guess. But like, for example, the fact that they're releasing Mandalorian, the fact that they like did Lady and the Tramp, which I don't know how well. I don't know. They haven't released
Lady
their
and the-
streaming numbers yet.
Yeah,
right?
and I'm not. I don't know. Will they? Because Netflix doesn't.
What? Oh, the release of numbers?
streaming numbers. Or
Oh,
how they're
no,
doing?
no, no,
Not really. But to that point, you know, it looks like they're putting they're teeing up a lot of major content where,
Yeah.
again, the movies, they're very aware of it. It'll be like a once or twice, maybe at most 4 times a year, like once a quarter, that they'll have something there, but they really are trying to shut that shit down and like contain it, because then it's all money to them versus money they got to split with like the theater houses and
Right.
stuff like that.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I mean, it's just when you have an IP that big, to take it out of theaters completely would be, I think, silly, because
Yeah.
like you're gonna, if you can make money both ways, because how are they also able to pay for all this stuff in Disney
Yeah.
Plus and pay these actors these salaries?
Yeah.
Like, you're getting film actors really big film actors to come on and do these series, because now just kind of, from being a TV buff, that you can get the A-list celebrities like Nat now to do TV. It's not like it was 10, 15 years
Yeah.
ago. They want to do it because there's
Right.
more character build up. So anyway, being able to do that and make that money off of $1 billion off of Star Wars in the theater. All right, well, let's put some of that money towards Plus and get some more stuff in there too. So they keep scratching each other's backs. You agree with that?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. The one thing that I just feel like is like we're gonna see a lot now with Disney Plus is a lot more. They want to rival Netflix because Netflix really did show everybody that they could come out with originals and like kind of like redefine what a TV movie is. Because don't get me wrong, like I'll watch Lifetime movies all damn day. But like,
See Last Christmas.
Did you see Last Christmas?
No, I didn't.
It's a Lifetime movie.
No, but I used to love that shit. Like even when I was like in high school, I would like come to Saturday 11 a.m. to like 11 p.m. I was just sitting on the couch like watching Lifetime. It's like missing at 17. I didn't know my dad was.
My mom.
No, it's true. I love it because it's like easy to watch movies, and it's like one of those things. If you're exhausted or in between homework, it was like easy. I could keep it on, you know.
My girlfriend and her friends do multiple times during the holiday season. They do a Hallmark Christmas movie marathon where they get together. They just get a bunch of rosé,
right? Because you can be drunk and have a full conversation and not miss any important things about the movie.
Because you know that at the end, Christmas will always, be special.
Yeah, but Netflix did originals and they were amazing. Yeah. You know, it was like 1,000 times better than what Lifetime and Hallmark could ever be. And I think that Disney Plus is going to try to jump on that and jump on that quickly, which is why they made a Lady and the Tramp that nobody was asking for.
No, but they didn't have to do it in the theater. That's where I agree with what Winston's saying. Is there's certain things that they would have said, let's try this in the theater.
That's right.
That if they're not sure about, put it on Plus.
Right.
Because
they want that's just more content. That's more originals, and they can be like, we have originals. You know.
And I think that's what they did. I don't think they necessarily needed to do this, but I'm glad that they did with Obi-Wan. Right. Because like Obi-Wan, it would have succeeded as a movie. But they got shy because of Solo, and Solo didn't capitalize. But they're like, well, what if we turned it into a series? I actually think that was the better choice. I want to see Obi-Wan for 8 episodes to be able to really explore what the hell he's doing. But it gives the companies that is under the Disney banner to say, all right, well, that property, it's so rich, and we don't know if audiences will respond to it. Could it work as a series?
Right.
And I think you can see a lot more of that. Mm-hmm. Anyway, all right, moving on, Ben. What do we got?
More Disney Plus news. They said they had 10 million people sign up for the streaming service in the first day.
Crazy.
Now, that's not 10 million subscribers, though, because you get the 7-day free trial, and also Verizon offered a free year of Disney Plus with their service.
Yeah.
So do you think the numbers are going to stay the same after this first week? Are more people going to sign up? Like Winston was saying, like, that's $60 million a month, but is it really right now? Like, are people just going to preview it for the 7 days? Are Verizon's users going to renew after this first year?
That's the trick.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the trick. That's what goes back to what we were just talking about.
That's why you have to come out. What do they say? When you get to prison, you got to go knock out the biggest bully in the face, just knock his ass out. I think it's the same thing. That's why they're coming strong with Mandalorian, and they're trying to get like some of these Marvel shows out quickly, just to try and retain people, because that's Netflix's problem right now. Other than the other streaming services pulling people away, they've slowly been on decline with subscribers for years. So they gotta go hard.
Well, it's also, if you think about it, I think that the strategy thus far, if they have Mandalorian that runs until the end of the year, which I think the last one is like 26th or right after Christmas or something like that. So you'll have the Star Wars fans, and the Clone Wars starts back up, so the Star Wars fans will stick around for that, sure. Then I think the first Marvel series hits in like February or March, or something along that. So then the Marvel fans, if they're not subscribed now, maybe they'll subscribe later. Then you have the opportunity to do more and more things. I think they should do more things around what they did with Jeff Goldblum, because I watched that. Did you see it? Did you watch it?
I literally, I started it and fell asleep. This was last night after Disney.
Because you were bored with it, or
no,
you're just tired?
Exhausted.
Okay. So,
but I've heard amazing things.
I loved it. And the first episode is just all about him finding out about the sneaker industry. He's like, so what is it about sneakers? Oh yes.
I could listen to him talk like all day.
So genuinely earnest. Like when he found out Spider-Man wasn't going to be in the MCU on the red carpet, he's like, "What? No." He took his glasses off. No, tell me, please. Oh my gosh, it's terrible.
But he does,
love him.
But he just does. He's like, oh yes. Oh my. Oh. And as he's doing this whole thing, but he goes through the sneaker con, and he wants to understand it, and he wants to get his own shoe designed, and he's
amazing.
playing. Yeah.
I just really want to put him in like a very black heavy environment with that earnestness, because they would love him. They would
watch
love
the
him.
episode.
The sneaker episode. There's a lot of
he's playing basketball.
with
him, and he's like, my uncle was a basketball player. I as tall as me. Yes.
Like I just want to like take him and put him in like Essence Fest in New Orleans, and just with all the black women that are down there, just like celebrating themselves and enjoying that jazz. Just be like, jazz. You know, I love to do jazz. And,
does, yeah.
and in Los Angeles all the time.
Have you seen him play?
No, but I've been a friend that have taken a
Guys
photo with him.
have to go.
That's great.
Everybody in
Yeah, I
LA
wanna
has to go to Jeff Goldblum's show.
go.
It's amazing. Also, put Werner Herzog next to Jeff Goldblum, and I will
All
watch
day.
every single.
But
episode.
I loved the first episode. He's so wonderfully weird, so wonderfully weird. I can't wait to watch it. How many people have seen the Goldblum show? By the way, it also just opens up how many people watched that show. How many people watched Mandalorian? How many people were just there for what my wife wants to do, and just Cinderella went on right away. And the kid watched Cinderella. You can stream all these movies in the library that they have. You don't have to go out and buy the Blu-rays anymore. It's like,
I fell asleep to Ratatouille last night.
All things X-Men, man. I've been binging Wolverine and the X-Men because it can be on in the background while I'm working, and it's absolutely amazing. But I was gonna say I gotta give the what was the name of the exec that made that quote about
Horn.
Alan Horn.
So Alan Horn. And all these subscribers, like Disney got some BDE right now, bro. Like, so I don't know if you know what that is. That's big dick energy.
Oh yeah,
they straight up are just like, yo, we know what we got, so whatever.
Because that's the question of monopoly, right? Because they bought Fox, they did all this stuff, and the article was a little one-sided, where it's just like, oh, well, they're buying out their competition. So it's like, I understand. I understand where people are like, well, look, you're taking away jobs from certain people that were at Fox in this too. I think, but it's also like the side of like the Yankees. When I think about the Yankees, when you have the money and you have the opportunity, that's the thing with capitalism, right? If you have the opportunity and you have the money and you have the power to try to do bigger and better things in business, wouldn't everybody do that?
Right.
It's just it's easier to say it when you're on the sidelines and you're watching from the sidelines going, oh, that's just them abusing their power. But how do you know if you're not in that power seat? And you have the opportunity to say, I'm going to capitalize and I'm going to buy this. I can buy this. It is available to buy. Oh, no, you know what? I'm going to let them buy it because I don't want to make money on that. I want them to make money on that.
I think
don't get it.
I think it's all relative because if they actually get to monopoly territory, which they're not yet, but they're pushing.
They're getting close.
If they actually get to it, that's exactly why you have monopoly like laws in effect in the first place, because you're essentially shutting people out. That's how you end up with like a larger divide. That's how you end up when you buy Fox. God knows how many people lose their jobs because now it's a redundancy issue.
Unless some of them transferred over, though a lot transferred
But that's
over.
what I was gonna say. Is like Yankees can get Johnny Damon, but half the Red Sox don't get fired because they got Johnny Damon.
And that's the kind of the difference there, where it doesn't necessarily add up. But I don't.
But to flip that,
blame
let me just go off that
Sure.
point though. Let me go off that point because the difference is though, with all this new material and stuff doing, and all these new movies and all the things that are happening, eventually there's gonna be a lot more jobs created.
For sure.
Right now there are not. Right now they're not, and it
Yeah.
is a fair thing to say. Like all these people who have their jobs now don't because this other bigger company bought it. But other jobs will be opening up. Now we don't know if those people get hired from them, but still.
I agree. I think the other thing that it becomes a little dangerous is that I know that, like, for example, Disney Plus has supposedly been doing a lot of what Netflix did when they first came out, where they're not necessarily trying to pay writers what their union says they're worth and things like that, and like they're trying to pay them as individuals versus as a union. So you do run into the issue of, if we hold all the cards and we can dictate everybody.
That's a different scenario.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Okay, so let's get to one more topic, then we're going to move on over, turn the Schmoebot back on, do some more questions. And please, guys, like I said, streamlabs.com/Schmoedown and Superchat. But Sinead is here, so any questions you want to ask Sinead, anything that you want, we haven't seen her in a bit, so anything you want to hear from her, myself, Winston, David, Michael, Frank, or Ben Goddard, fire those questions in. We're going to get to all of them in just a little bit here.
Can I report on this poll?
Yes, please do. How many people have voted so far? If you didn't know, go vote on the poll. It's up on the Schmoedown. We're asking who people think Sinead looks like the most. Was it Demi Lovato? Was it Zoe Kravitz, Natalie Portman, or what was the last one?
Meghan Markle.
Or Meghan Markle. All right, I'm going to guess. Let's see. Who do you guess she got?
Zoe.
Zoe?
Zoe.
I say Zoe.
So far, Zoe's at 56%,
Yeah,
but
wow.
the poll is still open, so people
So
can
who's
head on
next
over.
in line right there?
Meghan Markle.
Meghan Markle. Okay, so how many people have voted on it so far?
225.
Oh, we need more than that. Come on,
yeah.
there's over 1,500 of you guys right now watching right now. Get on over there. Go,
I got you, Kristian.
Yeah, go vote. I want to get a big. I want to see what the final thing is there too. Go over to Twitter at the Schmoedown. If you haven't followed it, please do that, and please go and vote on that poll. Let's do how many? Any big?
I want to talk about The Rock because I mean we talked a little bit about the
Yeah.
DCU,
Yeah.
but he finally announced Black Adam is gonna be released December 22nd, 2021. Like you said, this movie has been a part of his life for 10 years,
Crazy.
even before the DCU was a thing, before Shazam was a thing. Rock has been cast as Black Adam forever. Are you guys still excited about it?
I am, and I think it goes back to what we were talking about earlier before. I think that this movie will wind up doing better than Shazam, and Shazam did well. But I think with the addition of The Rock as the villain, to watch him as a villain again, he was only villain kind of in
Scorpion
Doom.
King?
Nah, Scorpion King, even that was like kind of anti-hero. But
Scorpion King, he was the
No.
protagonist.
I'm sorry. The Mummy Returns.
Right.
He
Yeah,
was
yeah,
the
yeah.
Scorpion
it
King.
was.
First 5 minutes,
But first 5 minutes. But Doom
The
also.
last 3.
Go
as a
watch that
CGI.
CGI now.
Bad.
It's rough.
So there's a YouTube channel, by the way, that worked on that and changed. They change up like I can't remember the name of the YouTube channel, but they did Home Alone is a horror film, which is amazing.
That's actually
Did you see this?
I've seen their I think it's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory or Willy Wonka as a horror movie.
Maybe. But they changed up a
That's-
whole bunch of things, and they were basically in Home Alone. They added like blood effects to Daniel Stern, and like when Macaulay Culkin shoots Joe Pesci, half his face blows off. But they did this. They redid the Scorpion King, and they made it like look like how it would today, and it looked like a billion times better. 'Cause it's atrocious. But the movie Black Adam, I think. It's a movie I've been looking forward to, and I think to see The Rock in that capacity, he's very passionate about it, and I think that he has proven that when he's passionate about something, it churns results. What do you think about Winston?
I mean, yes, I'm not. There are things that I am way more excited about because this is kind of one of those things where it's like, no, like you know how you promised here in LA, like, oh yeah, we'll get coffee sometime, like whatever.
You've never ever talked to them again.
So when it finally happens, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So like,
right now that it's finally
if I sit down and it's an amazing movie, I'll be ecstatic. But I don't really care. To say I don't care is not right, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So this is called the Corridor Crew. That's the channel. So the chat room is telling me the Corridor Crew. So go and check them out because they're really good.
Cool.
I was
great idea.
Kind of addicted to it. All right, is that everything? That's the big stories.
Yeah,
Anything
other trailers came out today, but
What trailers?
We had the new trailer for that 6 Underground, the new Michael Bay Netflix movie.
Haven't seen it, okay.
It looks like every other Michael Bay movie in the last 20 years.
Yeah, sounds about right.
It like you could tell me this is a new Transformers movie and I would believe
well,
you.
There's also Tarantino teased a book, play, and maybe a TV series. That's something that he's from a guy who said he's only going to do one more movie, and now he's telling me, oh, no, I might do a movie, but then it's like, oh, it's kooky, man. I might do a play. I might do
He said right after he finished Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, he wrote a 5-episode TV series, and he's writing a book now, and then he wrote a play.
He's not going anywhere. And tell me about Prince of Cats, though. That one I want to learn about. Spike Lee is directing Prince of Cats.
Yes, I had that article. There it is. So Spike Lee is in talks to direct Prince of Cats, which is the hip-hop version of, their words, not mine, their hip-hop version of Romeo and Juliet from the viewpoint of Tybalt. It takes place in 1980s Brooklyn.
Okay.
Yeah, and that
makes sense if it's Spike Lee.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm excited. I'm excited about that.
I want to see, well, especially when it's from his follow-up, with Black Klansman. So, yeah. I mean, that's
finally got his Oscar.
What I'm hoping, though, with Spike Lee is that it doesn't go the same route of like what happened with Ridley Scott, because Ridley Scott was having a bunch of stinkers, and then he shot back into prominence with what's the Mars movie, The Martian, right? So and then after that he had the one with was supposed to be Kevin Spacey. It turned out to be what's his face, Christopher Plummer.
All the Money in the World.
Yeah, and that one didn't do very well. And then he did the Alien movie, which apparently most people didn't like. I thought it was fine for what it was. But my point is, I want Spike Lee, who was doing a couple movies that were just okay. Black Klansman was incredible, back to form. I want him to stick back to form. That's what I'm hoping for. That's anytime you're.
I mean, you want to see great people do great things.
Yes.
Like that's inspiring, it's entertaining, like things like that. You would hope that he continues that legacy, and I mean, he's got it in him. So
right.
This just intrigues me all around. Like I love the idea.
I feel like Shakespeare just hasn't been touched in so long. Like I feel like it's a good time to get back into it.
Yeah, I want to see his version also. Yeah. And then the other stuff. I mean, there's just briefly. I think
the new SpongeBob trailer.
I didn't see a chance to see that though. But Mark Wahlberg was rumored to be playing Nathan Drake for a long time.
Yeah,
a long time. And then Tom Holland got cast, and now Mark Wahlberg is in the movie.
Yes, he is playing the
brother.
No, the mentor to
Sully.
Yeah, he's playing Sully. I've never played the games, but judging by the pictures of Sully, he does not look
not at all.
And
that's
also
a weird casting.
Just like a few years ago, I was just listening to this. It was on FX, and like he's playing the same age as T.J. Miller in Transformers. I was like, no, you're like 20 years older than T.J. Miller.
But the Sully thing, that's a weird casting. I thought he would like play his brother or something. I didn't realize that was it. Did you play Uncharted at all?
I
did you play Uncharted?
Xbox guy.
Shoot. So I'm curious to see the chat room. For those who played Uncharted, just with a yes or no, is Mark Wahlberg the right choice for Sully? And Ben, tell me what they say. I'm gonna think.
Okay, I'll take a look.
I think it's gonna be overwhelming no, but maybe I'm wrong. I like Mark Wahlberg, but I thought it would be his brother. That's a weird casting. Isn't even it's gonna be something like this.
Yeah.
Come on.
Nathan,
right.
what are you doing?
What are you doing
over there?
Come on, we're supposed to be driving.
It is a resounding no.
Yeah, it's strange. It's a strange casting.
Hell no.
No. Yeah, it's a strange casting. All right, listen. I think it's coming back. Is it? Oh, there it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Schmoebot is back. We are going to be answering all of your questions via Schmoebot, via the streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown and Superchat. The thing that I have found the most exciting about doing this new show is the fact that the audience, Mark and I have always been very engaging with the audience. You know that from back in the day, but now they really dictate conversation, and they really, it's like you get into places that you didn't really know that you would. Phone calls are cool, and phone calls are fun, but there's something about when this collective voice is steering the show that I found pretty satisfying. So speaking of that, Darren Bursch, this is worth the wait. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're making my mornings. We read that already. Suge Knight 323. Kristian, your true fans are here for you. Screw the haters. And so hyped for The Mandalorian. We did this one also. Sorry, where's everything going here? That would be Jackass Nation. Actually, I have time to watch live. Just wanted to send you some love. I want in on the show next time I'm in town. BC. So BC is a guy, BC Campbell. He's a dude I met. I don't even know how I met him. I think I met him through Comic-Con or whatever it might be. But and you know BC.
He hung out at the bar after the last LA live show. So it's like till 2 a.m. because he had a flight to catch.
He's a good dude, good fan, knows his shit, wrestling, hardcore junkie, Schmoedown fanatic, flies himself out to the Schmoedown events. And he works the events, and so Megan and Jonathan are like our main. Yeah. They run the live events, and they say to me every time, they're like, BC is heaven sent. Like BC just gets it done because BC is huge. So
he's
it's like
a giant.
He's a giant. It's like, so I always say, hey BC, if somebody's got in a line, and I said next time, I think BC he might have been there. I'm not sure if he was there, but somebody screamed out in the audience. No, he wasn't there for that one. But I was just like, there was something I said. People scream in the audience. BC goes near them, and then they stop doing that because BC. You didn't want BC getting no at all. Although in Houston, we were in the middle of a ring, and so BC is a wrestler, right? So we're practicing, we're getting ready for everything. We just hear bump, and so in wrestling it's called taking a bump, right? He just throws himself on there, and it's huge, and it's like a Booker T's thing. We're like, dude, no. He's like, I had to take a bump in Booker T's ring, man. And I'm like, no, don't do that. But I get it. All right, so let's see. Movies, Buffs, Mania, loving the show. Great to see Sinead. TV talk! ! Mike Yule will send another super chat if Sinead gives us a Let's Go Blues.
Let's Go Blues.
She gave it. Yeah, she gave it. John Keeley. In my opinion, Collider's worst business decision ever was to fire all the female hosts. That didn't happen. I miss Sinead, Ashley, and Vanessa. Who's Vanessa? Don't you know Vanessa? I don't know Vanessa. Vanessa, so much. So seeing Sinead again has really made my day. Hello, Sinead, the way from Scotland.
Hi.
But Collider there was no firing. It was just
I think they probably made Natasha.
Yeah.
And it was the three of us that were like, it wasn't even like let go.
No, it was a
format.
It was a shift in format.
Yeah. And a lot of people took that as us being fired.
That's not what happened.
But no matter how hard we explained it, it just the actual format changed. So the format changed. There was no need. There's literally no need for a host.
Right, the way that they did it, and because you were coming in for TV talk, you were there for other shows too. It's just
we all just got like really busy, and it was never anybody's choice,
right?
Because you guys were reaching out all the time to have us do different things,
Yeah, so that's that was I think a sweet sentiment in the fact, but it was inaccurate. Video punks. I don't know about any celebrities, but Sinead looks like my next baby mama. Nice.
You're next.
You're next. All right, so you're gonna do some recruiting. All right, Kartik Sham, loving SEN and the rotation of guests on this show. Are we going to get consistent timestamps on the podcast versions on the show? You know what? That's probably something I didn't even think about. On the podcast version, we probably have to send it to Frank. So Frank Janish.
I can email.
Yeah, Frank Janish. We just keep him on when you're emailing everybody. Just email him too. So that's something that, actually was very helpful. So those people who don't know that the podcast version is available, it's available on Apple Podcasts or any other place you want to get podcasts. You just go to Schmoedown Entertainment Network to get those episodes. But we'll do that. We'll make sure that those timestamps are available also. So great question. Summit Shetty. Kristian, I'm an OG fan from India here. First drunk after show. How much does the LA crowd know about Indian movies? Love your show, SD and you all. I probably would say probably not a lot. But I think that it's something because Bollywood and all that it's extremely popular. It's just people have asked about certain things being introduced into the Schmoedown and categories into the Schmoedown. And as much as I would like to include a lot of different things and a lot of independent things too, you also have to realize that what we're trying to do with Schmoedown is make it like a commercial thing. And even though, yes, maybe your astute film critics, like the Bibianis and stuff, should know about certain movies, and he probably does, right? But you also want to make sure that a brand new viewer in Cincinnati who tunes into this show says, oh, they're not asking about any movies that I know. Why am I going to watch this again? And it's like, I get that everybody wants to show how much they know. And it's like, oh, this particular movie, this independent movie should be asked. It's like, we're trying to make a game show here for people to watch. So that's why a lot of commercial movies come in. And there are some rare things and deep cuts that come in, but I like when they're few and far between because, Ben, you're coming in as a new competitor next year. And you want to make sure you're going to be studying, you're going to be doing these things. You want to make sure that the commercial things are where you're going to hit first because those are like the things that you feel like some fan who's watching has a shot to get.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like we could have like, a foreign film like match or something like that. Like, we do the Star Wars and Inner Geekdom, and we just had the horror film exhibition match.
Right.
And those horror film questions were deep.
Yeah.
They were crazy deep. I thought I could maybe keep up on the sidelines. No. And so we could do those matches. Like, that would be fun. But for the general thing, you do want to be able to kind of play along at home. You'll be like, oh, I do know that one. Like,
yeah.
I got to
Hello
propose
to
it, man.
DJ Devries. This beat is tough. Shout out to the Collider Food Crew. Have some donut holes for your pie hole. Love the show, guys. So good to have Sinead on today.
Absolutely. Sinead is wait a minute. You have to do me a favor. When you leave here today, you have to go to Stan's.
Oh,
I
yeah,
told you,
that's
you
right.
have to go.
Okay,
Like,
yeah,
you're not
I
going to
will.
be on this side.
No, I will. I'll eat it on my way home, too.
There is
All of them.
a donut place I've been telling her about, and it is the best. I'm not a donut guy. I'm just not. But my wife is she loves donuts, but she's been going to this place forever. And she's like, it is.
It's that good.
Oh my God.
Is it like 2 minutes? from here or something
I'll
like
tell you where it is
that?
after. It's so good.
I feel like
you gotta go.
I feel like I've hit almost every
Aloha
single...
from Hawaii.
Oh.
Just rewatched the Patton Oswalt Star Wars filibuster from Parks and Recreation. How awesome would it be to see a grizzled Boba Fett climb out of the Sarlacc pit and form the Hound Arya type relationship with the Mandalorian?
It's a good question. So
I've read theories that the Mandalorian is Boba Fett.
I read that too, and it's silly because it doesn't make sense. If you go back to where you see the flashbacks already, where he's running through.
Kid.
He's a kid
parents,
during
right.
during the Clone Wars.
No
So
spoilers.
we know where Boba Fett is at this point, or where he was during that point. He was already fighting and off doing certain things, and he did that battle with Cad Bane. That I read a particular article by Tom from the Schmoedown who said the same thing, and he wasn't referencing any of the animated stuff. So he was referencing only the films. Everything is canon. So it just doesn't sync up.
Implanted memories.
I don't know. I hope not. But him showing up at all, it's still a possibility for sure. So let's see. Let's go back to Jake Acavetta real quick. Jake Acavetta was saying, "Hey Kristian, was that you on the SEN account in the call to action chat yesterday? Whoever it was, thank you for the support and the kind words. It was me. I went in there. They did a live action review to I think it was the Wild Berries and the Family match, which is up right now. The Family, who is Andrew Guy and Drew McWeeny versus the Wild Berries, Josh McCouga and Elliot Dewberry. Great match, tournament match. And they were doing a watch-along kind of reaction to it. And I was watching. I love the call to action people. I think that they're the most hardcore Schmoedown fans, but they're respectful. They're funny. They are super supportive to everybody inside of the Schmoedown, and they're just great fans. I love having them at the events. They bring a whole new kind of energy to it, and I think that you guys should be celebrated. So thank you for everything that you're doing, Jake. Appreciate it. Okay, Brandon Branco, aloha from Hawaii. What's something that could show up in The Mandalorian, Saga, Clone Wars, Rebels cameo reference that would totally blow your mind? I think Cad Bane showing up, and this is something I guess when you'll find out when you start watching the Clone Wars. I want to get your opinion on it because here's what you should know going into the Clone Wars, similar to what you're doing with Lost. First 2 seasons that sometimes tend to scale. There are a couple episodes that tend to scale like kiddish. You'll jump into a few Jar Jar Binks episodes and things, and you'll be like, oh man, is this the whole show? It is not. Season 3 and up really starts to hit into the lore and get into straight. Like you get to see Anakin. So there's a conversation that Obi-Wan has with Luke in Episode 4 about how Anakin used to be. You understand that, how he was a great friend, a great pilot, all that stuff, and you see how passionate he is. You get the version of Anakin that I think George Lucas was going for in the original movies, which people don't understand that too. George Lucas was very involved in the Clone Wars animated series, and I think it's his best stuff. I think it's the original trilogy, then Clone Wars, the TV shows, then the prequels are his best Star Wars works. All right, so as far as being blowing my mind, I think Cad Bane showing up, that would be good. Moose Wizard. This is going to be a little bit, not really a spoiler, but you see it in the trailer. So thoughts on the Doctor in The Mandalorian Episode 1 wearing the Comedian logo, the same one from the cloning facility from Attack of the Clones. That was pointed out to me. That's very interesting and a bit scary without going into spoiler territory here of other things that happen in the episode. So I'm going to wait for that one. I'll go back to it, and I'll probably cover that when we go into more spoiler kind of territory in the next episode, but I want to see where it goes.
My wheels are turning a little bit.
Right?
Only because I hadn't even thought about it until you said what you just said.
Yeah, and you see where I'm going with it now? Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah. Matt Chapman. My wife loves tuna and mac and cheese. I hate it. And ends it with both white. Haskell 420. There he is. Sinead, what are 3 of the funniest AMC movie talks that you did?
Oh man,
3
that's
of
tough.
Them. That is tough.
The line gets blurred between what was still AMC and what was Collider.
I think just movie talk is fine.
Okay. I think definitely the one where I called out Mark Ellis. I called him like stupid or something. That one was a good moment.
I did that last week.
I called him stupid. That was a good moment. That was like really, really funny. It was like me, Schnepp, Ellis, and Campia were all on the table. Funniest. Damn, I don't even know. There's so many. There was like, I guess like the mailbag that you, me, and Riley did. I just watched it again like 2.5 weeks ago.
Okay.
Out of nowhere, I was like at home. I just got done cleaning, and I was like, I need to watch this mailbag because
what did we do? I don't remember.
We were laughing our asses
What
off.
happened?
I don't know. You
Fart noise or something?
I don't know.
Wasn't a fart noise.
You started. You were farting before we went live, right?
Yeah.
We were starting before we went live. So when we started, we were already laughing. But the way you started it was like, you were like, Riley, you don't know what's going on. Sinead. And it was like that. It was like this whole long thing. And then we lost it.
Oh,
and
I think I kind of remember where it started.
We never
off.
recovered.
Okay, that's good.
But yeah, no, that definitely that one for sure. But yeah, I think like there's just way too many. I think when I think about Collider, I think about more of the stuff that we did like out like off the air.
Collider news stuff though, too. That stuff you guys did was pretty
yeah,
fun.
like
that rap was great.
Yeah, and like everything behind the scenes, like getting before doing a show, back in the other room doing like the Collider news stuff, like everything off the air, like hanging out with everybody. That was kind of like
It was a clubhouse day.
Yeah,
back then,
they always used to try to throw me off with the Collider news thing and put like bad words in the prompter
like
because
Anchorman
I was
style.
like a prompter like pro,
Yeah.
and I was like, you can't break me.
Did they ever get you?
What?
Did
They
they ever
never
get-
got
No,
me.
that's
No,
awesome.
but it would literally be like, Star Wars will be back, blah, blah, blah. And they'll be like, titties, butthole. Like literally. I'd be like, you guys, are you serious? And it was almost like every single time.
That's awesome.
But yeah,
This came in from Sam Levine, by the way, who just texted me. He said, I'm on the other side of the earth right now in Saudi Arabia doing a convention. First guy waiting in line at my booth opens up with, oh my God, you're the Inglorious one. I love you on the Schmoedown. It's my favorite show.
Aw, cool.
That's awesome.
I was like,
Dope.
that's pretty awesome. He said,
Yeah.
So I'm excited that we have fans all over the world there too. If you have not watched the Schmoedown, please do so. The other thing that I want to mention to you guys, speaking of the Mandalorian here, my good friend Eben, he over at Zappers Collectibles. You're going to be able to meet the cast of the Mandalorian here, the parents of the Mandalorian, who are going to be in more episodes, I'm sure. Here, Alexandra Minea and Bernard Bullen. They will be there. At Zappers Collectibles. You can meet the cast, and it is 11026 Ventura Boulevard, Studio City, California 91604. The Instagram is whatZappening, and that is going to be on the 16th of November, and that is 6 p.m. So make sure you go and you check that out, because I think they're going to have a lot more to do. So go and meet the cast of The Mandalorian. Okay, let us go back to John Garland. The very generous donation here in Super Chat, John. Thank you so much. Hey, guys, keep up all the good work. Kristian, I haven't seen you this happy in a long time. Love to see all the familiar faces. Wish the sweaty man himself was here to join in. Wanted to send some support. Much love. Well, so much in that. First of all, thank you. Yeah, John, you know what? This is probably the happiest I've been doing broadcasting in a very long time, because it's comfortable. I get to kind of do things by my own rules. I get to hang out with people, just kind of shoot the shit about whatever we want to talk about, and you know, it is what it is. I get to see old friends, and you got to come back on more, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I work.
I know.
Up the street.
I know. That's what I'm saying. So you got to be on.
It should work out, actually.
Anytime that you can, you got to be on. And we're going to have more familiar faces and things on there, too. Schnepp would have definitely been on this show a million times over. He and I, you just have that natural chemistry sometimes with people. And he was one of those guys. So I miss him terribly. And, yeah, he would have definitely been on here, too. You got along with Schnepp really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the best. So
I'm sad I never met him.
Oh, man.
Same. I never got to
Legend.
experience.
I mean, he's just and you know the thing is with him is that he was the most inviting dude. Most inviting dude. He would find something that he had this ability. There's something that you geek out about that he does too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something that you
because he cared, and that's all it came down to.
Yeah.
He cared about everybody.
He cared about
like conversation and like engaging with
yeah,
people.
he really did. So
it's almost intimidating how nice people have been. Like since I've been doing this in the summer, all the Schmoedown people, like Dan Merle and Mara and Roka, like you living in LA. Like I don't want to be too cynical. Like you're almost like,
right.
What's your real angle here? But there's not. Like they're just genuinely nice
just wait
people.
until you compete against Roka next year.
Yeah, exactly. That's where it ends.
So Jason Bradshaw, who had the really generous donation before, says, may this be the start of Winston's shirt fund. Kyle Grandinetti, crazy day, just wanted to send in some love real quick. You are all fantastic. Woo! Surge Sauce, hey everyone, if you lived in the Star Wars universe, what would you do? Would you be a Jedi, a bounty hunter, a pro pod racer, or whatever profession in that universe, what would you be? I don't know. I mean, I think that if... See, you can't say that position. I always, if it was in a movie, I'd want to be a Sith. But to say you want to be a Sith, that means like, oh yeah, I want to destroy people. I think Jedi for sure.
I would want to go, like probably. I wouldn't want to be a Jedi, but I would want to be like a Force user. I'm just like off the radar. Like I don't want to follow anybody's rules.
Yeah.
So just whatever.
Yeah, it'd be like a Donnie Yen type, Force sensitive, but not a Jedi.
You got one?
Yeah, I kind of agree. I was gonna say I kind of wanted to like be like I don't know, like just go rogue and just like do whatever I want. Yeah. But that's like me thinking of like if I got transported into a Star Wars universe at this point.
Right, this point.
You know?
Yeah.
Like I don't know if I actually was a part of it, maybe I'd be like just terrified and just want to like, you know, be on everybody's good graces, you know.
But you think Jedi?
Yeah, probably, or at least a Force user. But like when I think about it, if somebody was like, you can go now.
Yeah.
I would be like, oh, I just want to see it all, and I don't want anybody to tell me what to do.
I'd want to be Jedi OT style though too, because the no sex thing I wouldn't be able to do it. But what DMF?
Maybe.
Whoa.
Maybe.
You see what happens?
Dumbledore's coming into the Star Wars universe.
If he doesn't get his tuna and mac, man, he turns it.
Hey everybody.
Maybe like a battle droid, you know?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
interesting.
You and the Schmoebot wrecking shop.
Exactly.
I see it.
See, I'm trying to go full Valkyrie in, you know, how she just was like, fuck it, I'm done with Asgard, I'm done with everything, I'm just going to get drunk and do whatever the fuck. That's exactly what I'm trying to do.
I hear it. Schmoebot is on, by the way. We'll close out. We're going to get to all these questions here. Keep the Schmoedown, keep the Super Chat questions coming in and the Streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown. Here with Sinead Devries, Ben Goddard, David Michael Frank, and Winston Marshall and myself. And thank you so much for all the wonderful donations thus far. Going to get to all your questions. And Kyle Grandinetti again, increase the size of the tour shirt, please. I've been to every event, but Chicago, and I even have a tour shirt because I love to support you all, but I would love one I can actually wear, please. Okay, what's the size? I guess I gotta get a bigger size here too. We are gonna install it. We're gonna do more shirts next year. We're actually creating an SEN shirt. Those will be available, I think, at Spectacular. We're working on it, so we'll try to make those sizes. Richie Fernandez, please do the tuna bit as Seinfeld. Okay, let's see. I mean, come on, what's the deal with tuna? Why don't you like it? Tuna and cheese. I mean, come on. It's cheese. It's tuna. It's delicious. Eat it up. I mean, come on. What's the deal with tuna? Neil. I mean, Obama. How do you feel about it? You can do it. He can't even get there.
I want to hear Lil Wayne talk about it.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weezy, baby. Let me tell you real quick. I don't really like having tuna with cheese because it's not, it's not something I like to have. I just like to go ahead and get some sense there,
It's noodles. It's cheese and tuna. Put them together. Tuna and cheese. I mean, come on.
I'm too in my head because I was gonna try and come up with like some sort of because Lil Wayne loves to do like what? She caught my phone. She caught my phone before it hit the ground. I call her screensaver. Like that's like I'm trying to come up with the.
I did like.
I was getting with my girl with a bad pickup line. They call me Mac and Cheese.
That's good. You know what
I do it with the voice.
There it is.
I'm not even gonna try the voice.
You know what I did yesterday though? Someone made me do that. I think out of all the impressions that they made me do for the super chats, my favorite one I ever did so far was Dumbledore doing Rodney Dangerfield's act.
That was great.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
That was to have him doing that. It was pretty funny. All right, Neon Gods. So I saw a screenshot of Boba Fett in Mandalorian during the Beskar scene. Over under a Fett of as a reoccurring character in the show. Hey Demi, long time. Mm-hmm. So that shot, I also pointed that out. I think when we were doing the streaming, I don't necessarily know if that's Boba Fett, but it's certainly someone who's wearing the same type of armor. So what I say is when he first goes into a certain place, we'll say that, then when you see, just look for him, because again, I don't want to go too.
Yeah, I need to rewatch it. I didn't.
Yeah. I can show you where that was. Kerry Smart, hello from Wales. Wild berries. Yeah, hell yeah. Sam W. I'm so excited that Taika Waititi is directing the finale for The Mandalorian. I did not know he was doing that.
I didn't know that either. That's great.
That's great. Me too. It also means he's pretty damn invested in it. Mm-hmm. So I mean, that guy is just.
He's amazing.
Have you interviewed him, didn't you? Not yet.
I don't think so.
I thought you interviewed him because he was there for Ladies Night. I didn't know if you.
No, I mean I might have.
Yeah,
but I wasn't for a
Collider.
That.
Yeah, you remember that.
But I mean, it might have been like right when I first started doing junkets over at Clever or something. But like, I don't
he is naturally one of the funniest human beings I've ever met in my life. Yeah. Just like doesn't have to try. He's just one of those guys that just like he's talking and he's funny.
I know. He can like I'm so biased. Like he can do no wrong.
You're not biased. It's true. He's just, the guy right now is he's running. He's like in the zone. He's in the zone right now.
I mean, that's part of, other than how it was directed and written, obviously, his Hitler is hilarious.
Yeah.
It is so
It
good.
should not work. Hitler should never be funny, but somehow he did it.
He does it.
I mean, I think it's part of the. I mean, everybody's aware that it's not.
Yeah.
It's supposed. Okay, you know what? I'll just be quiet until we talk about it.
All right. Which we'll do very soon. Epple Sandeo. Ayo. Huge fan of the Schmoedown. Thank you so much. Jedi Council and everything Schmoes know for the last 5 years. How do you guys, what do you guys think of an Order 66 style series on Disney Plus? I love it. I love basically what it would be is
like each episode.
Because what we haven't seen in films, what we saw briefly in like video games too, is the Jedi Purge. And after, because it doesn't just happen in Revenge of the Sith, all the Jedi are killed right away. They go off on the run. Obi-Wan sends out that beacon, says, get the hell out of here. And Vader and the Emperor hunt them all down, the Inquisitors, and they kill everybody, right? That would be very interesting to see in a Disney Plus series. I love that idea. Now, I wouldn't say no. I think people would get pretty excited for it. Anybody else think that's...
I'd like to see each episode a different character, and then like they slowly either, they might escape barely or they meet their demise.
That's interesting.
It's a dark ass show.
It is
bro,
really
but-
dark.
Yeah, they go on Hulu.
I don't think so. I mean, there was my daughter last night when we watched Mandalorian. She had never seen an image like this, and I was thinking about not showing it because of it. But when you see it in the trailer, when the legs go off of the guy in the, she's like, "Was that his legs?" She's like, she goes, "Gross." And but it's a dark image, for an 8-year-old too, and that's on Disney Plus. So those things. You can make that happen. It's Star Wars.
No, I get it, but I literally an entire show of just people getting assassinated. Like it's. I mean, I would watch it. Don't get me wrong. That's a
the Vader
dark
series,
premise, man.
Yeah, I feel like Star Wars could get away with it though because they're not. I don't know. Their like murder scenes are not.
That
There's
gruesome.
no
they didn't
blood.
even.
They're not gruesome. They're
I
not
mean,
gory.
They
They're
didn't
not
sh-
gory.
They didn't show any of the younglings getting killed.
No,
So
yeah.
it's just,
Brett losing his mind off of that meme that was really funny. So Brett, you remember Brett Sheridan, right? So Brett talked about there's that meme of Luke getting the lightsaber, and it goes, "Here's your father's lightsaber. He murdered children with it."
Oh, God.
Brett loved that. Let's see. Let's go back to Brendan Branco. If they reintroduce Boba Fett in The Mandalorian, how would you feel about a Hound Arya type relationship between? Yeah, they had asked that earlier. Also, I think that came in through the Schmoebot. It just depends on how they set him up, if they set him up at all. Multi-Bum 123 still upset that Ben said The Sopranos is dated. Yeah, it's a ridiculous take. It really is. It's a ridiculous take.
I will die on this
It's
hill.
a ridiculous take. Pork Chop shows amazing. Feels like friends shooting the crap. Thank you. I mean, that's the point. That's the idea. And because not only do we want you to be able to watch this here now and be involved in the conversation, feel like you're watching it on the road too, right?
I just realized the super chat and the bot don't let you curse, right?
No.
Okay, because I was like, who says shooting the crap? Like, I mean, I shoot craps in Vegas, but I don't like.
Some people also don't like to curse, but fuck that.
That's fair. I
just, Mike Yule, you guys are killing it every day. Keep on bringing it. SKO Blues. And then Kartik Sham, how much do I have to donate to give Dan Merle his own SEN show? His film analysis is the best on YouTube. Add in Andrew Guy, and I'd watch the money roll in. Well, Andrew Guy's definitely going to be on this network, probably way sooner than later. Dan Merle's a tougher situation. He's at Screen Junkies, so it's like
They do the show at the same time.
He's got his own show. He's doing a lot of stuff. Like the fact that I was able to, that was one of the main reasons that we couldn't get Dan on the Schmoedown as often in season 5 is because he was working. We were shooting on Fridays, but when we moved it to Saturdays, Dan's very involved in the Schmoedown now. He comes to a lot of the live events. He was there for a lot of scenes, and so he'll be able to do that. Dan Merle's one of my favorite human beings on the planet. So if I could have Dan Merle on this show, I'd have him on every day. But he just, he's working man. So that'll probably be something that eventually we'll try to do more of, but probably unlikely. But Andrew Guy, on the other hand, absolutely. We'll absolutely be able to get him on a lot more. Okay, let's see. Now we go to Magnus Thor Magnuson. Will we get Sinead on the table for season 7 of SEN, for Schmoedown? So, would you ever want to call a match?
Maybe.
If it was with Mark?
Yeah, I mean,
able to do it.
I would be super down, but I would be very intimidated.
I think you'd get it pretty quick. You're a natural at that stuff.
I'd be very intimidated
Why is
because
that?
when I watch it, it just runs so
Smooth?
yeah, just runs so smoothly, with so much ease.
If you get put on the
yeah.
table, though, for like a really intense match, I think you'll get addicted to it.
Yeah, I probably would.
Yeah. Martin Kohler. Hey, I finally was able to send in a few bucks, and we thank you for that. I was wondering if any of you have played the Star Wars Saga Edition tabletop. If so, what type of character have you played? I have not. Have you? Mm-hmm. And tell us what's the character?
I always, no matter the game, I always have a tendency to really like either magic or sniping. So I just went straight up as like a scoundrel, just putting a lot of dexterity
See you
points
as a
into
scoundrel.
sniping. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of sniping, and I could pick pockets.
Yeah.
That was my thing.
I have not played it, but I heard some great things about it. But it's something that I want to do for sure. I would probably do the smuggler stuff. Also.
Shit, man, we make a show out of that.
People have done it. We've done it. Okay, so if you guys can stop with the super chat, though, because I'm going to end that. I'm going to go back to streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown. Then we're going to call it a day here. So let's get to, we will start from my Kildingness. My love? No? That's not what you said, but hey, I'll take it. Hey, love, everything you do. Keep it up. Been watching you since Freddie Prinze Jr.
Hey, love.
Hey, love. Freddie Prinze Jr. and Whitwer versus Ken and Campia. Will Mando drop at midnight? And can I compete in Star Wars trivia on your Discord? And how? Well, as far as the Discord goes, that's a Patreon thing. I think so. If you have not joined Patreon on Schmoedown, it is everything is supported through that Patreon. So patreon.com/Schmoedown. We are heavily talking about starting an SEN one because we realize not everyone is a Schmoedown fan. But if you want to join that Discord, I think you have to be at the $2 level to join the Discord, and then you just get in contact with either Emma Fife or anyone else over there who can let you know. Now, as far as Mando dropping, I hope it drops at midnight so we can cover it on the show tomorrow. I want to really talk about it. So
what have they decided? How is this working?
So we know when they're dropping. No, we know like what days they're dropping. We don't know the time. So,
but they haven't announced that. That's
not time.
That's so surprising.
No, but what I found out yesterday was that if you you go to the Mandalorian Twitter and you like or heart that one particular post, you'll get updated every time it drops. So you'll know right away when it drops.
That's like a new thing that a lot of companies been pushing. Is if you like one of their posts, then they'll send you a random tweet reminder.
Yeah, it's like
whenever
subscribing. It's like subscribing to it.
So, that's interesting. Okay, cool.
Okay, let's see. Philly G, I love what you're doing. Keep it going. Thank you, Philly. Mike Keldingness, what do you think about a Dave Filoni animated series about Luke and young Ben building the Luke Jedi Order? Luke, voiced by Mark Hamill. Love to see Luke come back in an animated series. I don't know. I want Filoni to focus on live action. I think that right now I want to see him grow the live action universe. But seeing Luke, voiced by Mark Hamill in any version would be pretty cool. How do you feel about it?
He's one of the best voice actors of all time.
Yeah.
So I would absolutely love to see him do that. I think that'd be great.
Reef Tan, hey Kristian, if you want to see a bit of The Purge, read the Darth Vader comic by Charles Soule. I did actually, and that's that's what I was referencing. Really good. Hey to everyone on the desk, love the show. Well, I think what's that?
They said,
I said
hey.
Well. I said well.
I thought they said hate everyone on the desk, love the show. And I was like, that's confusing as shit. But all right.
Hey to everyone. Let's see. There's a couple more here that I want to make sure that I get. Villanelle. Hey, Kristian, I know you're a private guy, but have you ever considered having a family member on the show with you or your wife? Sinead, Mother of Dragons, we love you. Well, I don't really want to have my family on the air. It's like I put my daughter in a few of the Patreon matches here and there, but it's like the internet's an ugly place. It's an ugly place. I know it can be a very happy place too, but it's like I want my kids to be kids, and my wife is my wife's my wife. So my wife. Floppy Socks. Hey Kristian and SEN, I love the show and I have been a fan since the AMC days. My friends and I have made an animated adaptation of the in-canon in Dragon Void graphic novel, what you always talk about. We think you like it. Would you check it out on YouTube? Let me know where it is. Post it in the SEN Live Facebook group, and I will check it out. Let us see. Villanelle again. Kristian, I'm a huge fan of how you find new people like Dorina to bring in. I'm happy that you thought of Winston and David Michael Frank. So my question is, how or what about those two made you think they would be perfect for this? Well, David Michael Frank has been a close friend of Ben Bateman's since how long?
Man, we knew each other from Jewish summer camp at a very young age.
Holy shit, that's a throwback.
Like fourth grade or something?
Old school.
We used to play a lot of concerts together.
Yeah, so David's a very talented musician. You should check out give him the plug of your YouTube channel. Where should they find
Future Sunsets. So if you search Future Sunsets, that's the name that I release all my music under. If you search that, you will find me. I'm on YouTube, Spotify, all those things.
So David and myself and Ben went out to lunch, and he didn't really know a lot about the Schmoedown, but Ben is a hardcore fanatic of the Schmoedown and everything too, and believes in it. We sat down, we had some conversations. He took over social media. He helped grow some stuff on the Patreon, and then he also had certain ideas with tech stuff. And I told him what I was thinking about doing here. He believed in it. He's really kind of helping us out right now when it comes to the engineering and tech stuff. He's getting RB3 is going to be like our main engineer. David's just trying to iron out the kinks and do everything, but David and I just vibe. We have the same vision about certain things, and we know. And like I said with Winston and I, we just again through Schmoedown, you just know when you can relate, laugh with people. If you have the same type of sense of humor, that's the thing. Is that not everybody, but a lot of people can talk about movies. You got to have the same. Like I like I get nervous with some people when they don't have a good sense of humor because it's like they take it too personally, or they just sit there and it's like it's uncomfortable. When I want to have people on, I don't want to just talk about movies or what's going on. I want to be able to laugh with you. I want to be able to talk with you, and I got to have that vibe. I don't want uncomfortable stuff, and I think that's what we have found so far. And even like David too, who was just throwing out the tuna thing. And I told him too, I said, I was like, because I didn't know Ben very well, Goddard, and I didn't know David very well. So when I started, I said, look, you got to be ready for kind of goofy, immature humor and breaking balls. Like, good, I'm down. And you knew that from being on the show before. I knew you knew it before I even have to tell you that. And that's just kind of how it all came to be. Let's see. Sorry, we'll get a couple more questions in here before we wrap the show. I know that we're a little over time, but we started a little late because of the sound issues. House Heisenberg. Hey, Kristian. For over a year, I've been wanting you and Greg Alba to be on the same Collider Live show, and of course, he finally made it to Collider Live yesterday. Hope he makes it on SEN soon. His brand of humor would fit very well with the vibe of SEN Live. There is no doubt about that. Greg Alba is is a great dude. He's a guy that I've been working with for a little bit. He's been on Schmoes Know before. He had one of the greatest entrances in the free for all this year. Sitting next to this guy too, had a pretty good entrance. But Greg Alba came out with the
was he the one that came out of the crowd?
Stars Born.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my
Brett.
God.
Brett was the crowd. Yeah,
okay,
but he was Stars Born. So yeah, Greg Alba. I've already actually reached out to Greg, and we'll have him on. Absolutely, I agree with you. Devious, long form is the future. Old Republic series, Revan movie or trilogy, Bane series, long form world and character, building into shorter, big story, into connecting long form story. Tuna, I have spoken. Amazing. Yeah, I think that the any of the long form stuff that we can get, we'd be pretty excited for. Jonathan Peck just says SpongeBob. Well, thank you so much.
Okay.
I think that is okay. Jay Golden Eyes. Sinead, good to see you. What would make you react like Winston with the mac and cheese with tuna? Bacon on a donut?
That's bacon on a donut is delicious. What the hell?
I've had it before. It's really good.
I don't like bacon on donuts, actually.
So that would be, so there you go. See, it doesn't feel so good, does it,
like
you
it.
prick?
But I love
Someone's not bitter.
it. Just like doesn't feel good, does it? Does it?
I mean, it's
yeah,
not.
No, I don't like it. I mean, I love donuts more than anything on the face of the earth.
Well, then that's fair.
So I don't like my donuts being messed with in that way. You know?
Now we get to the root of why this tuna and mac pisses me off so much. You have to understand that is like a black person staple, not just in any food. Thanksgiving, like you know what I'm saying. Like mac and cheese is a sacred dish. So
yeah. Also, like my mom has been making like mac and cheese since I was like.
Yes.
Like you remember it from like just way back when.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't ever change. It's one of those things that's like it's a staple, like you said.
Yeah.
That so what I'll do if I'm around for one of the episodes right before Thanksgiving, I will bring you like the actual mac and cheese how we do it, and you'll be like, "Fuck, okay."
Oh, I'm sure it's good.
Yeah.
I'm not a dick about it. All right, so
Yeah.
let's We'll do
Are
two.
you calling me a dick?
I don't know. You interpret that however you want. Like the end of The Sopranos, a great show that's not dated. All right, so Andre Cajo. We did. Hey, Kristian, have you ever thought about doing a Schmoedown in St. Lucia? Oh man, please. I will probably be the only person there, but Schmoedown in Paradise has a nice ring to it.
Oh, hell
listen,
yeah, it does.
I can get a lot of people to go.
Almost Paradise.
You'd sing there.
I'll definitely I'll call the match.
Yeah.
I'll sing.
You
I'll
sing
do
there,
whatever.
sure. Hey, a Two Finger Toot says, Winston, can you do Lil Wayne as Rodney Dangerfield? What up, Sinead? It's good to see you.
Shit. All right. Wheezy, baby.
You know, I don't really get a lot of respect. You know, you know, I was Birdman didn't pay me my money. You know what I mean? Yeah.
There you go. And then finally, I think we have one or two more. PC says, Yo, Winston, I got Zelle. I don't do Vimeo.
Okay.
So he wants to do that.
Zelle?
He's trying to Zelle. There's like 50 different ways to send people money.
That's
That's fine.
that's Chase's quick pay.
It's like
It's
all the
great.
all the banks.
All the banks use
Bank
it.
of America has
Zell's
it too.
great.
Shit, let me figure that out. What we sending
Christian,
money
did you
for?
mean Venmo? You meshed Venmo with Vimeo. You're like
No.
Venio.
Well, sure.
So I guess this has become a staple every time I'm on now. Venmo at the Swaggy Blur, THESWAGGYBLERD. But I will find a Zelle, and I will next time I'm on here, I will tell you what my Zelle is. So there we go.
All right, last one here, and then we're going to call it a day. Back on Superchat, ZCM Zombie Custom App said, Are you excited for 21 Bridges? Which one's that?
That movie,
Chadwick Boseman, produced by the Avengers. I can't think of their names. The
Oh,
brothers.
the Russos.
Okay, the Russos.
Russos.
I'm
Sure,
I'm excited.
It looks
about
good. It's got a great cast.
Good team.
Chadwick Boseman's a solid leading man, so I'm ready for it.
Well, I'm excited about it now. And David, hit the music. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here on SEN Live. It's the 9th episode, 9 in so far, and I thank you guys for your wonderful donations, keeping us on the air here every single day. Not only do I want to thank Winston Marshall, David Michael Frank, Ben Goddard, follow all these wonderful people. Sinead Devries, where can they find you? What are you doing? What do you got coming up?
I'm online at Sinead Devries across all the platforms. You guys can catch me on Clever usually, and hopefully be back in the new year with some new stuff too.
Thank you so much. Thank you for
Thank
joining
you
us.
so much.
Thank you. So happy to have you here, Sinead. You got to come back sooner than later. Tomorrow's Kate Mulligan, myself, Brett Sheridan, and I think we have somebody else. I don't remember who else is here, but either way, that's a crew. We hope you join us. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace out, Mother F's.